Oh, hi. And you know what? How's it going, Crown? How you doing?
Howdy. Hello.
I did forget something. I forgot to switch the audio over to you so that it was recording your audio.
Ooh,
Always forget something. No, I did. It's all, we're good. We're good.
I muted all of my audio channels. I'm A-okay.
We're good. Yeah, well, I got the Discord audio channel, and that one I forgot to swap over, and I went, oopie, ha ha ha, oopie. So, what's up, man? How's it going? How you doing, man? How's your week been?
Oh, my week?
Yeah.
Pretty good. I don't have any complaints about my week. Oh, I got a plushie in the mail.
Ooh,
Yeah.
what's the plush?
It's me.
Like a bear plush?
Yeah. Hold on, let me get it.
Yeah, did someone audience won't be able to see it, but that's okay. He's gone. He's already gone. Unbelievable. Oh, someone made you a plush.
So this was made by Jin. He handmade this.
Oh shit!
Knitted it and everything, or crocheted. Knitted it.
Do you mind if I do a screen grab?
Yeah, go for it.
And also, the lovely people at home will say how much they find you fucking attractive. Yeah, I'm pretty. I'm fucking sick, dude. Which means the audio listeners on our podcast doesn't get bumpkiss. You get bumpkiss. But yeah, here you go.
Well,
that looks really good. I like it.
It's just over a foot.
Yeah.
Very soft, light brown knitted fabric that's woven together in the shape of a bear.
That's really good.
Like a teddy bear. It's got like a little brown muzzle with two beady eyes, and it's wearing a black cloak that has like a golden kind of trim along the edges with like a floppy crown on top.
He's taking you into a whole new world with this description, guys. It looks great. That was very kind of them.
It's very cute.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely love it. Whew. Man, oh man. I don't know what is going on with me. I'm a little gassy.
Your body's in preparation, dog. It is like, I cannot wait for vacation. And it's like, get all of this toxin, all this stuff out of me right now.
I don't know, man. Like, usually when people go on vacation, they very much are just like, they're just like, oh man, I'm gonna fucking eat shit and just do whatever, and I don't care. And I'm starting to get to that age where like there are just, I think I don't know if we did talk about it or not, but taste change as you get older, right?
Yeah.
I've been talking like my desire for steak has been out the fucking window. I went to a steakhouse a couple of weeks ago. I ordered the steak and it was a little too rare. Just a little bit, not too much. But I ate it and I was just like, no, man, I don't want I don't want this. And I thought it was the way they prepared, because it was also a dry aged ribeye, and it was the dry aging was also kind of like, I'm not this is not. I like dry aged ribeyes, but this time I was like, I'm not feeling it. So, little fucking white privilege here. Last Saturday, I went to a different steakhouse with Masay, and I was like, you know what? They were talking about all these like fish specials, and my body was like, ooh, that sounds really good. And I went, no.
Bomb.
Is the bomb? Yeah,
it's very good. So I'm a big fan of fish.
So, but I was like, no, I'm at this really nice steakhouse who makes that, and they make really good steaks. I'm going to get the ribeye. I'm going to get their dry aged ribeye because I didn't have a positive experience with it the week before. And I was like, I'm just going to go. I'm going to get this. But the entire time, oh my God, my brain was like, that fish sounds really good. And she got like a Chilean sea bass or something. And I'm like, ooh, I mean, I don't know what that tastes like. They had like some sort of cod for special as well. And my mind just kept going, ooh, that sounds really good. I'm like, no, but I'm in a steakhouse and I should go for the steak, and at least do that. And I kind of went at it through like a method of like science. I essentially was like, okay, maybe I'm going to have the steak. And if I'm not vibing, then I think my tastes are like staked out for, you know, I'm done with steak for a while, you know. So I had I had the steak, and well, though first we ordered like a crab. I don't say platter. It's not really a platter, but it was like cold crab with a couple of sides of like cocktail sauce and a spicy mustard sauce and all that stuff. And it's just cold prepped crab. You know, that's all it is for like an appetizer. And I ate that. I was like, oh, this is so good. Like I could just keep eating this. And they upcharged the hell out of it, but whatever. It's nice. And then the main entrees come in, and as the main entrees come in, I'm looking at the bass. I'm like, oh, that smells good. I'm looking at my steak. I'm like, this looks good too. And I take a bite out of her fish, and I was just like, I want to try this. Can I try it? She's like, yeah, go for it. I eat. I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. This bass is so it was so good, nicely seasoned, not overly seasoned. It had a nice citrusy tang to it. It was wonderful. And then I went to my steak and I ate it, and I was just like, nope, nothing. You know, when you eat a piece of steak and you just go, oh, I don't get this all the time. This is great. I went, should have got the fish. That was my response. That was my response.
Maybe that fucking place just sucks at making steak.
No. So 2 weeks ago, we went to a more close by steakhouse. And then last week we went to like our special steakhouse that's like, you know, by the beach and everything. And it's just one of our favorite dining locations. It's just very expensive. It's a once in a while, like we'll go out and do it, and we'll go hog wild. That last Saturday I was like, yeah, let's do it. You know, let's make it happen. And so we did, and I primarily wanted to see if my taste changed, because they don't fuck steak up, and they didn't fuck the steak up. I was just like, this ain't scratching that part of the brain that goes, oh, steak, fucking love this shit, man. Give me more of that. Hell yeah, you know. I was just like, man, I should have got the bass. I was kind of in a seafood mood, you know. And I like fish, but I don't get it too often. Like I don't. You know, I'm not like, oh man, give me the fish. But now I'm kind of like, I kind of want fish. I kind of want seafood. I kind of want all this. So we're, you know, it's, I'll probably be eating some fish on break next week.
Nice.
And not doing as much of the beef side.
Great choice.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's good for you, right? I mean, assuming you're not frying the shit out of it, you know, you put it in the deep fryer. Yeah, that's good. It's fish, right?
Yeah, I want that both sides golden crispy brown.
I am not a fan of fried food. I don't know why. I've never really been but I feel like I'm supposed to be. So sometimes I will get fried food, and I'll just be like,
you feel like you're supposed to be.
Yeah, well, because everyone is like always goes ape shit over fried food, like fried chicken, fried fish, fried blah blah blah. And I'm like, I like grilled. I love, if you were like, do you want a fried chicken patty or a grilled chicken? I'm like, give me the grilled chicken patty. I want it grilled. I love the grilled stuff. But yeah, fried for some reason, I'm just.
There are sometimes where grilled is honestly better than fried. Because there are people who just fry the shit out of their food, and there's like no moisture. I might as well be eating like a fucking belt, like in terms of texture.
Although, you know, sometimes you'll go to like a really good, we've talked about, you know, going to like a really good chicken joint. You know, it's a good chicken joint because, you know, they put the fried chicken on like a piece of white bread. So that way, when you eat that chicken up and you go to that bread, you're like, and then this is where the rest of it went. Oh my God. So, and then you go to like a fast food chain chicken joint, and you're just like, this is garbage, dude. This is fucking hot garbage. So
what's crazy is that I had crispy, crunchy chicken again today.
From that place. Yeah, we talked about that.
Juicy, deliciously seasoned. Probably the best fast food fried chicken I've had.
You got a place that treats that chicken joint.
Man,
with love.
The people who work there, they love their job.
Yeah,
they love their job. Those are people who go home fulfilled from their job. They are.
Yeah, you can tell when
Never a
someone's
complaint.
like phoning it in over just actually like doing what they're supposed to do. The chicken was fine. What I ordered from that place from that you were talking about before, that was close to, I had one close to me, and I was like, all right, I'll check it out. I didn't have high hopes because the ratings were pretty dog shit, and I went and I was like, the chicken was okay. It wasn't, life changing the way that you described it, but it was fine. And then I ate that biscuit. I'm like, this biscuit tastes weird. It was the first time. Well, it was already honeyed, right, from that place. You kind of already get a little. And I had this one. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, it didn't taste rotten, right? It didn't taste, but something was off, and That's the scary part, because you're not getting the same pings. That's like, this is rotten food, spit it out now. But I definitely was like, it's not supposed to taste like this.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, we're gonna sit on this and let you know if we need to throw it up later. It was just like, I was like, this.
Welcome back to haunt you in about 3 hours.
It was so. I can't describe why it was off. I can't give you a general consensus or just a general synopsis of like why it was so off. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It was yeah. So I just, but like I said, I like cooking food. I especially this week, I have had no time to cook, unfortunately, which that always sucks. So sometimes I'll just order like a salad or whatever. But yeah, this time I was just like, I didn't have time. This week was Monday was Devil's Due.
Yeah.
Wednesday was Frost Maiden. Thursday, I did a Deadbeats recording session, and then we're doing Dumpy Delves today. So,
that's right.
So like, I just usually this is around the time I would start cooking something, and I just haven't had the opportunity. And I'm gonna go on vacation next week, and you think I'm gonna cook something? Then you must be out of your fucking mind.
Out of your goddamn mind.
I might. I don't know. Oh, what's really weird, like so we're part of our break, part of the time off I'm taking next week, we're gonna go out for like an evening or two, and I won't say when, because I look at I look at my assassin in the audience. He's just waiting just waiting for me,
the silencer onto the gun.
But because part of me was just thinking to myself, like, Man, what if we, maybe I would cook something, but then it's like I dirty up pans. And what's really weird, I don't know if you've taken a vacation recently, especially with like Airbnbs or whatever, First of all, they charge you like a $250, $300, whatever, miscellaneous cleaning fee to hire the cleaners to clean the place up. And I go, whatever, fine. It's the cost of vacation. It's just, that makes sense. You need someone to clean the place up. Fine, I get it. We pay for that. That's part of the experience. But then these places have the fucking audacity to be like, keep the place clean. And I'm like, motherfucker. And I point to the fee, and I'm like, that's what the fee's for. You can't I'm not going to give you money and then clean your place. I don't mean to sound like a fucking asshole, and I'm sorry if I sound like an entitled prick by saying that, but like, if I'm being charged the cleaning fee, I'm going to, I'll do very low effort cleaning. Like,
yeah, but I'm not deep cleaning your fucking house.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna
put the dishes in the sink.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna just like go out of my way to make sure it looks like exactly the way I came in, because they want to get the place clean as fast as possible for the next person that's coming.
Yeah, so they can flip
that
it
day. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, no, like, I'm not doing that, So there is part of me that kind of like turns my nose up to that a little bit, where I'm just going, that's kind of, I feel like we're double dipping there, and
absolutely.
And we've talked about this before, where like I feel like nowadays a lot of businesses are just really trying to figure out a way to like, what can I get away with?
Correct. How do I nickel and dime you to death?
What exactly can I get away with before a post goes viral and I go, we hear you, the infamous "we hear you" post.
Get the intern out here so we can sacrifice them.
The infamous "we hear you" post. Before we continue, we do have a YouTube goal today. I haven't typed it out yet, but if we get during this session, during this podcast episode, if we get 10 super chats of $5 or more, Crowned DM has a RPG horror story. Am I correct?
RPG horror story.
Is that fair to say with your first DM or your DM that you were talking about before? Would you consider it a horror story?
Oh, that one. Yeah, I would absolutely consider that a horror story.
All right, guys. Well, if you want a personal horror story, head on over to the YouTube channel and I
thought you were bringing up the CPS thing.
The what? Oh no! I'm still no. Don't get me wrong. I'm fucking curious as hell about that, but I'm also afraid like we're gonna hear a really fucking good story that's not gonna be able to be publicly released. So I definitely think that's something we should do at some point.
Okay, do you want to? Actually, I won't say that. I won't say that.
I'm proud of you, man.
Maybe not.
I'm proud of you. I'm real proud of you.
Maybe it's an aftercast thing.
I'm really proud of you, man. You're pumping the brakes sometimes. I'm really, really appreciate it.
I really had to consider it for a second. I was like, can I say this right now? Like what?
I appreciate that. You're gating yourself. You're figuring out what the hell to do. That's really good, man. That's really fucking awesome.
I'm literally super wise and humble.
So wise and humble. Look at this guy. So we're not gonna get into political talk, but holy shit. This Elon.
Are you sure?
Are you sure you don't want to get into political versus Trump thing? Dude. Like I have never like picture the scene. Picture the scene for me right now, okay? I'm currently outside the streets and everything is on fire right now. And the sky is just red. You're just hearing screaming off into the distance. And like everything is just gone to hell. And I'm just sitting there reclined in like a beach chair with sunglasses, wearing like the Hawaiian shirt and the bathing suit. And I'm just sipping a Mai Tai. That's what I feel like this is right now. Holy shit. Like I went into yesterday's Deadbeats recording session going, they're fighting each other. Figured that was going to happen. And then I lean back and I do the session. And then I leave the session. And then Summer's like, or someone was like, I think it was Summer who was like, yeah, fucking Musk was like, yeah, he's on the Epstein files. Enjoy. I'm just like, boy, we sure fuck escalated pretty quickly on this. And I'm fucking living for it, dude. God damn. And now we've got
basically on his way out goes, by the way, Epstein files. And everybody went, whoop.
Middle fingers all over the place. And I'm just like, you know what? There is nothing productive about this whatsoever. So I'm going to let my petty flag fly and go, okay. Well, all right. This is nice. This is pretty much, everything is imploding inwards, which we figured it would. Feels pretty good, man. That's definitely my, what's the word? Schadenfreude?
Ooh, Schadenfreude.
Definitely big Schadenfreude vibes right now. I'm just like, man, who could have seen this one coming? I sip my Mai Tai again. Who could have seen egomaniacal maniacs not being friends anymore? God, that's weird.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Is it your fucking partner anniversary today?
Yeah. Well, yesterday it was. What? Oh, yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't celebrate. Ooh, this is actually an interesting story. I usually don't do big celebrations for my partner anniversary. I do appreciate all the well wishes. So like definitely keep them coming. I definitely like that. But I don't usually do like a big stream or celebrating it. Cause I remember getting partner was a fucking like mental nightmare for me. It was like a year of hell. It felt like, Well, because it's like you got this ranking that, you know, you handled extremely well and with grace, and I think that's why you got partner as fast as
thanks,
you
man.
did. I was just a fucking mess all the fucking time. And like it's like, oh, I didn't get the viewers today. Oh, I didn't get this shit. Oh, blah 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 blah. And then whenever there would be like this really long, lingering sort of like where you'd apply and then you wouldn't hear a response for like 2 to 3 months. You're like, ooh, I think I might actually be on the cusp. And they come back and they're like, nah. And there was at one point, and I don't even, you know, I take it as it is. I asked someone, you know, like I was like, hey, like, you know, what if there's anything more I needed to, you know, like I had to like ask someone who knew someone about like partner, you know, and so. Like, yeah, just fill up the application, send it this way, blah, blah, blah. And I did. So I did that. But then afterwards, I also filled up the application normally. So, I think at some point, I sent a total, I had like 3 apps out for whatever reason. And I don't know if it was because I thought like the email was bad or I don't know how I was rationalizing it. But it was like, it was the app I sent to the friend of the friend. It was the app I sent. And then it was an app through a different email because I was not getting email notifications from Twitch anymore. So but when I changed the email I did, I don't know. So the first application goes through. And after a while, it's a few months, I hear nothing. And then it comes back. And all 3 apps are out, by the way. So I get the app and it just says, nope, not partner, but keep at it. And I was at this point beaten. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like my mental space is so fucking low. I can't.
Yeah, I'm fucking exhausted.
I can't do this. So I took a vacation. I took a break. I went, oh, you know what? I'm taking the rest of the week off. I'm going to the beach. I was with my partner at the time. And I went, yep, we're out. We're leaving. I got to get out. I got to fucking go. And we did. And I relaxed. And it just, you know, I'm just bummed. You know, I'm like, whatever. But I'm slowly trying to like get over it. And then I'm just like, you know, I'm doing better, you know, and usually when I get in these moods, I uninstall everything, you know, Twitter gone, YouTube gone, blah, 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 you know, anything that, oh yeah. Cause I don't want to be in that world.
You don't want to be associated with it.
Yeah. I don't want to be in that world. I want to detach, you know, I want to just get the fuck out of that. So you know, it's been like a day or two and, you know, I'm finally slowly getting over it and I'm letting go and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. It's not worth it. We'll try again. It'll happen when it happens, whatever, you know, and my brain's finally getting to a really good place. And, and then an email pops up and it's from Twitch and I see Twitch and I'm just like, okay, whatever. It's Twitch. And I see the header and it says, congratulations, you've been chosen. And I'm like, what? And then I look at the mail and it was inviting me into the partner program. And I went, oh, damn. I went, what the fuck? And I was jaw dropped. I was so fucking excited. I was so happy. And I guess that was, you know, June 5th is when that happened. And I was partnered and I was like, oh my God, I did it. Holy shit. Like, oh my God, I don't know what happened, but I did it. Woo. So I'm excited. The vacation is now a celebration vacation. I get back. I'm so super pumped. I got the check mark. Everything's good to go. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, man. Let's do this. Let's fucking go. And then like a few days later, I get another email from Twitch that that states that essentially just said like, sorry, you're not going to be a partner at this time. But it was an automated email. And I was already partner. So I went, okay. So essentially what I theorized what happened was the first email was a rejection. The second email was from the friend of the friend that I think may have just slid me under the radar and got me partner. And then the third was like the third application I sent that was the automated nope. But at that point in time, I was already partner, so they
already had it. You're already on the plane.
They couldn't take the check mark. Yeah, so and that kind of stung a little bit because then it felt like, oh man, did I really deserve this? So, but I will say yes, I did because of everything we've done and created, and
Hell yeah, man.
You know,
Absolutely.
Kickstarter, two Kickstarters that raised over 125K on 2 separate books on 2 separate platforms. Great D&D audience that we've built over the years. Yeah, I absolutely deserve that shit. So yeah, but
100%.
that's you know, part of that was also just me being like, I'm not gonna, you know, like I just very much just like, nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna. I do celebrate the partnership just because I know that a lot of people like to do that. So if I am happening to be streaming at the time, I will celebrate it. But a D&D game needs to fall on it, and it just didn't this year. So like, but Dubs Devils did. So here we go. Here we are. It's a good time. So yes, it is my partner anniversary. Thank you very much. Grant, you've been partnering for over a year now, right? Or has it been a couple of years?
Yes, it's I think I've been a partner. I think I've been streaming for almost 4 years. And I've been a partner for 2 of those 4 years.
It fucking sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
Dude, I had that moment where I saw somebody who was like, they've been subscribed to you for like 40 something months. And I went,
yeah.
I looked down at my chat and I was like,
I'm getting like 80, 90 month subscribers coming through. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like,
it never goes away.
And I'm just like, holy shit. I've been a partner this is going to be my 7th year as a partner.
Yeah.
What is happening? I even just saying that out loud, I am just like, huh?
It's kind of nutty. It's kind of actually fucking insane.
I don't commit to anything for longer than 5 years before I go stir crazy and want to do something else. So it's very, I mean, I guess technically I have done that because, you know, 2020 was when I became a D&D content creator. And now it's 2025, which means the 5 years are here now. Oh, how am I going to lose my mind now? And I kind of have a little bit with IO5E. You know, kind of going to the publishing side.
There's a big difference, though. There's a big difference between going from like, all right, now to change my career trajectory entirely. I am no longer doing D&D content. I am now instead writing science, science memoirs.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
I have nothing to do with TTRPGs in any way, shape, or form. I'm the same way.
Yeah, I do feel like I do make a big change, though. You know what I mean? Like, I do feel like a big change normally takes place around the 5-year mark where and I think the writing the books and producing the books, I've been doing that for like a couple of years now, I feel like. So, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just bullshit. Maybe it's all just bullshit. But you said you're the same way usually. What's your turnaround time before you're like, something new now, please?
Well, for a while it was like I think it was like the hyperfixation thing where I would get hyperfixated into a subject or a thing or a hobby or what have you.
Right.
And then after like 6 months, I would be like, and I'm done with this. And then I don't touch it ever again. Like a lot of the games in my library kind of like rotate. And you can tell when I was playing them because I'll put in like 100+ hours into a game. I'll beat the game, keep playing it, what have you. And then I stop playing it after like 150 hours. If it's a game that I've continued to play, it's got to be a really good game.
Oh yeah.
Like RimWorld. RimWorld was one that I put easily 150 hours into the first time I got it, stopped, and I came back and I was like, what's one more time? And now it's up to like 500 hours or something like that.
That's great.
It's a really great game. But yeah, I was the same way. 6 months, I would drop whatever the fuck I was doing. And for a while, I thought streaming was going to be that. I did not see myself
expect to do it longer than that.
Yeah, I was like, something's going to happen, or I'm gonna eventually just get bored of this.
Yeah,
and be like, I don't really want to fucking stream anymore. That's not the case. And I really do owe it to A, my community, and then B, the people that I've met through streaming. Like being able to hang out with people and hang out with other streamers and kind of like continue to want to make like content.
Yeah, because you feel like you're part of like a community of other creators, you know, you're kind of feel like you're in the same space, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it helps when you're like, you know, these are people I look up to as well. And like, I continue to meet people that I'm just like, damn, I love what you're doing. Like, I love what you're making. I love what you're working on. That shit is great. Absolutely wonderful. So I get that.
How long ago was it? When did Shadows Breach first come out?
Oh God, it's terrifying that it has been years that Shadows Breach came out. It has to have been 2020, might be 2022, 2023, maybe?
Because that was when we first met.
Yes,
so,
that is correct. That is absolutely correct.
But joining that game, it was fucking Lobos Jr. was in that game. And I had been watching Lobos for fucking years before I got to like play D&D with him.
Yeah.
So I had to sit there in the call, like fucking white knuckle gripping like my keyboard to not be some fanboy nerd and be like, dude, I love all of your Dark Souls content. I watch it any chance I get.
Lobos is great. Well, I mean, same,
He's
like,
awesome.
like I knew of him because of like, I found him through Dark Souls content as well. So a lot of me was just kind of like asking, you know, I asked, funny enough, I asked 3 Dark Souls content creators. I asked, Body, is that how you say his name?
Oh, Body Video. Yep.
Yeah, I asked Body, I asked Lobos, and I asked a third person. And I won't say who the third person is because I don't want to put them in a bad light. It wasn't a bad thing they said, but it was enough where I could see it being perceived that way. So I asked Lobos, and Lobos was down, and I was like, awesome, because I've seen Lobos' content. I didn't know who he is as a person, right? But I was also like, he seems chill. He seems like a cool guy. Let's see where this goes. And now I'm glad I did, because Lobos is, you know, one of those folks that I adore, and I'm just like, I would be more than happy to like hang out with him off stream. He's someone I never have any. But again, like, you know, we've talked about where like you'll have doubts about someone, or like how someone is actually enjoying themselves, or, you know, they're kind of perceiving themselves as, I have to be here, or I want to be, you know, you're never really sure where they are. But Lobos is like, is one of the few people I'm just like, he's here to have fun. That's, you know,
absolutely.
If I know if I tapped him, was like, hey, can we play like Valheim together? Can we, you know, do something offline? He would totally be down. And yeah, so Lobos is great. So at Lobos, I asked Vadi, and I asked a third person. So the third person said, if you can get Lobos and Vadi, I'm in. That was that was their ultimatum, was like maybe, but only, it was like, I'd be down, but only if you can get Lobos and Vadi. Like, they both have to give the okay.
Okay. I can see how that,
it can come across a little like, and I don't think they were intending to come across that way. But
I hope not.
I don't think they were, but yeah, the ultimatum is kind of like a little, I don't know about that. So there was, they said, you know, if Lobos and Vadi are in, I'm in. And Lobos was in. And Vadi was like really on the fence. Was like, oh, I don't know. It's like, I think this is when Elden Ring was going to come out, like the following year.
That motherfucker was looking at his work log.
And Vadi was just like, like, oh man, I would, but I don't think I'm going to have the time, because once Elden Ring is out, I'm gone. Like, there is no way I'm going to be available for anything. Yeah. By the way, August 17th, 2022 is when our first session of Shadows Breach was.
Damn.
That's insane to me.
Damn. We are approaching 3 years of knowing each other.
We have to finish Shadows Breach. So, but yeah, I was just like, oh, well, shit, you know? So yeah, but this was like, I think Elden Ring was going to come out like that following January, I think is when Elden Ring was going to come out. And so, yeah, Vadi's like, I don't think I'm going to have the time. I don't think I was like, yeah, it's cool. I told Lobos. I said, yeah, so and so's probably not going to be in because of the ultimatum, and Vadi just can't. And so I was waiting for part of me was be like, oh, no worries, well we won't, blah blah blah. But those still down. So we got Lobos, and we have a pretty cool party with Shadow's Breach. Amazing D&D party. When a good party comes together, it's magic.
Oh yeah, man.
It's fucking magic.
There are certain groups that have like fucking Shadow's Breach, great chemistry.
Yep.
Rime of the Frost Maiden, great chemistry.
Doing great,
like
man.
There are a lot of parties that I have been very like thankful to be a part of that feel just really fun to play.
Just connect very well. And as a DM, you that's the one thing that'll just make a game hard to run is if the party is not completely cohesive. I mean, that's why I really want in the future to limit my games to 4 players. I don't think I don't, because one thing I see with like 5 to 6 players is usually there's an odd man out or a couple of odd man out. But with 4, I don't know, everyone's kind of got a nice little focus, got a nice little rhythm to it.
My first ever game I ran, which is something that I would like to go back to one day, but the issue is that once you've played D&D with enough people, you kind of get into this scenario where like, I kind of want to play with everybody. But I also kind of want to play with like a small group of people, but like, how do I do that without making people feel bad?
And that's the rub, right? And at the end of the day, like, people just have to understand, I don't know about that. I was going to say, I don't feel bad if I'm like, yeah, sorry, I couldn't make it, but I do feel bad because I have had people where I'm like, oh, I don't, I'm still trying to figure out the group. I'm having a hard time. And they're just kind of insistent, like, well, just put me in like this group. And I'm like, I can't, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? All right. Well, we're going to try and make it work, and there's been a couple of times where I've had to like shoehorn in like a 5th or 6th person because I felt like I had to make it work. That was 2021, 2022 me. 2025 me is not about that whatsoever. You know what I mean?
It will work or it won't. I don't care.
That's what it is. It's like, what is the alternative? I'm just going to have I was like a guest in a party once of like 18 people or 13, 14, I don't know what the number was because it was an obscene large number. And I went, nope, this ain't going to work, but I'll sit at the table and hang out. And you know what? I can't tell you what happened that session, what the game was about. I couldn't tell you jack shit because it took an hour for me to do or say anything. I can't even tell you what my character was. I can't tell you anything about that game except there was an obscene number of people because the DM kept saying, sure, come in. Sure, come in. Sure, come in. Sure, come in. Hey, you want to play? Sure, come in. Yeah. So yeah, one session I was like, and then I think that game died that night because I was just like, there's no fucking way, dude. There's just no way you're going to make this work.
The first ever game I ran, 3 people. Probably one of the most memorable games I've ever had because the party was like this. Immediately. They liked each other. They knew each other. Everybody got equal amount of spotlight.
Yeah.
And it just felt like everybody was kind of in this nice central groove. My next game, I ran for 11 people and I wanted to die. Never again.
I've done the 8 to 9 groups of people, and I think I ran a Karazhan game once, where I like had them run the raid of Karazhan and this was in 4E, funny enough, and where you can just make monsters really quick and on the fly, like because 4E had it going on, baby, had it going on, and I take it for granted. There isn't a moment, there isn't a day that passes when I'm working on stuff and going, man, 4E just
it's a perfect game.
It works. Well, I don't know if it's a perfect game, but it definitely, like, for like the style of games I like to run, I'm just like, man, 4E was ahead of its time, and because of the time you're never going to see 4E again. And that you know, I mean, that's why I think you do the same, where we just kind of like take things from 4E then because they work. You know, you're just like, this is perfect. This shit works. It works very well. I finally now have the stat block say hit point, gives the hit points. I've gotten rid of the hit die part because you don't need it. You've never needed it in 5E. But now it's like HP. I don't say hit points. I say HP because you know what HP is. I don't need to spell it out for you. Same with armor class. I don't know why they spelled out armor class. So I was like AC, HP, and then HP semicolon bloodied, and it tells you what the bloodied value is. And that's just design. And as boring as that sounds, I mean, that's nice, just good design. Simple. Nice. So good, man. So, No feet measurement. It counts the spaces because that's what you are playing in, and the terminology is really fucking good, and it's good, you know, and it just unfortunately came out at the wrong fucking time. You know what I mean? Like it just it just came out at a bad time. Wizards did some missteps, shocking, and yeah.
Not shocked.
I
Another OGL debacle. Who could have seen that coming?
I've said this before. When the OGL debacle happened in 2023, I was like, again? Like, that was one of my first words. I was like, again? Didn't this fucking fail with the GSL? What are you you just think it's gonna work? And it didn't. It didn't work, you know. I think at the end they did get what they want with the D&D Beyond integration with big third party. And I do think there will be a system in place where you can put your own third party content on D&D Beyond. I think now I did say it was a 70-30 split. I think it's a 70-30 split. I'm willing to add on for these bigger people, and they're kind of I really think they're rolling out a third-party marketplace for D&D Beyond, and I think they gave these big devs like super generous rates. I'm talking 90-10. 95.5. I think they gave them really super generous rates for them to come onto the platform. That would have been competitive against drive-through, so that they can advertise, because they're already advertising as like all your favorite creators are on D&D Beyond.
Yeah, honestly, I could see that being the case because I never expected MCDM to be on D&D Beyond.
Same.
I would honestly believe that they gave them a super generous cut.
I don't know too much about MCDM as a person, obviously, but from little I've watched, I do give out the impression of like, yeah, but D&D today kind of sucks a little bit because he's old school. You know, he's old. I believe he's older than me. So that dude's ancient. He's you know,
that man was playing like when the hobby came out.
Yeah, so. I mean, look, that I don't know too much about him. I know the industry looks up to him, and I do really think, you know, having that history of like, you know, what was 1E like, 2E like, what was 3E like, 4E like, and then you can kind of compare a little bit of like the pluses and minuses, the pros and cons, and then when you're building your own thing like Draw Steel. You know, you have a wealth of knowledge to pull from. So like especially if you have a good design mindset and you're leaving ego at the door, that's, I feel is really good. But yeah, I kind of got the impression that he was just like, you know, D&D, whatever, like, it's a different game. It does things I don't agree with, and yada. So I was also kind of surprised to see his content up on there. And what's also interesting is a lot of the bigger creators' new content is going to be up on D&D Beyond on release. Legend of Vantress has their spooky book that they did a big fucking Kickstarter for that raised like millions of dollars. I forget the name of the book, unfortunately, and also I'm not going to advertise their shit. But no fault against them. It's just if you want me to advertise, that's I do grabby hands. Money, please. Look, I know.
God, he's so based for that.
Oh, what'd you say?
Oh yeah, I said, God, he's so based for that.
Look. Unless you're a friend of mine, I'm totally down to sell your shit without asking for money. If I don't know you personally, I'm not going to advertise your shit. That's just the way it is. I'm sorry. I am sorry. This is the industry. It's just the industry, and I hope I don't come across as an asshole for saying that. Oh yeah, it was called Crooked Moon. So there you go. Yeah. So there it is. You got your advertisement anyways. They got their shorts game is great. Legend of Vantress has taken off because of their terrific shorts game.
Yeah, whoever their fucking animator is, that dude is making them bank.
Yeah. Dude, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for when we start releasing our animated shorts.
I'm ready.
Same.
I've seen them. I want some.
Yeah, we'll see when Deadbeats comes out. Publicly, we'll start doing the short game at that point with animated shorts. And I think that'll bring all the boys to the yard. It's going to be really good. Yeah, so our animations are also going to be pretty great because I do feel like that's also going to really help. And I've told people all the time, if you're gonna have a D&D channel or a TTRPG channel or any sort of channel, really, you have to do shorts. Shorts is just the way to go. You have to do shorts. You have to do it consistently. Your channel will take off because you're just fishing. You're fishing at that point. You're just fishing for one to go viral.
Kind of throw out like a big hook.
Yeah, you do.
With shorts,
dude. I'll see a short.
YouTube is so fucking weird sometimes.
I'll see a short that comes out on our channel and it'll do dog shit, and then I'll see another one just to the moon. TikTok's the same way. TikTok is weird. I've been resuming uploading on TikTok again. And I wish I didn't stop before, but now I'm just like, all right, no, we gotta do it. We gotta do it. And like, I'll see a TikTok short, 100K views that just immediately just take off. And then I'll see, I remember there was one short I released, and then I don't see the metrics until the next day when I upload the next short. And one short was like 45 views. And I was like, why? What the fuck happened? And you got to figure it out. And it was like, was it because I had a link to a video in the title and all that shit? TikTok has done an extra step where you can't copy and paste text on TikTok anymore.
Really?
So if you like comment like a link, you can't do you can't copy and paste that because it doesn't hyperlink, and you can't copy and paste the link into another.
It doesn't hyperlink.
No. Huh. A lot of these
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I made a TikTok to see what the hype was about.
Yeah.
In 24 hours of making my TikTok, it got banned, and I didn't even get to use it. That's what pissed me off the most. Was I made it and I went, okay, well, I'll look at this when I get home. I got home, auto account suspended, and I was like, what?
Crowd, I
didn't even like it a video yet.
Crowd, I told you not to name the channel Eat My Ass. I told you hundreds of times not to do that.
No, man. It was I made the Crown DM TikTok because Momo was like, make TikToks. I was like, fine. Jesus.
I agree. Make TikToks.
And then my
make
fucking
YouTube
account
shorts.
got banned.
Make another one. Fuck them. Like, seriously.
I don't fuck it. I'm on YouTube Shorts now.
YouTube Shorts is good. YouTube Shorts is my second. I had to create an Instagram account for IO as well. God. Hey, whoever is taking, I know you're not here, but whoever's taking all the World of IO channels off all these platforms, whoever's taking all the handles, I hope you get stung by a bunch of bees in the worst possible space. Dude. So fucking annoying. I was like, all right, let me make a World of IO channel. Someone's camping on the handle. Cool, great, awesome. And I was like, maybe it's a viewer, and then I just see Russian text, and I go, oh no, this is just an asshole. Cool, great, wonderful.
Nice.
I
will give you $4.2 million.
Dude, some of these people who steal my handle think they're gonna make it rich off of me, and I'm going, brother, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm not Jacksepticeye. I'm not Markiplier. You are barking up the wrong tree. I do not have the money you need right now. You know, I can give you $20. You want to give me $20? That feels like a fair deal for this right now.
Come on, man.
Dude, there was I wanted to get the Ioverse fucking website handle, and the person's asking 25K or 20K for it, and I'm just like,
Ooh, what the fuck?
I'm like, yeah, man, that ain't happening. That's not gonna happen at all. Like, I was like,
enjoy, brother.
and I tried to negotiate for it, and they're like, how much are you willing to pay? And I gave them a number, and they're like, that's gonna be way too low for this guy. And I'm like, they're like, look, it's a short handle, it's got IO in the name, which apparently is big in the tech industry. And I'm like, I can present the price, but I'm gonna tell you they're gonna say no. And I'm like, well, let's see what the fuck happens. And sure enough, he came back and he was like, he kind of came back like matter of factly. I was like, dude, I know I've also done that. You know what I mean? Where like I've also, know that was gonna happen. But I did get if I came back with like a 12K or 13K offer, maybe, and I'm like, I'm still not ready to put that kind of money down. Dude, I paid $5K for iopublishing.com. That pissed me off to no end. Just to get that domain name.
Why'd you have to pay $5K for that? Jesus.
Because that was on sale for $5K, and that was the price. And I went, all right.
Damn.
I was like, if I'm gonna do publishing, I'm gonna have to pay $5K for that. You know what I mean? Like, Jesus fucking God. Yeah, this market of like camping on, I get it, but this market of like purchasing a bunch of domains, and it's super cheap to purchase domains, super fucking cheap. You're paying like $10-15 a year.
Is that basically the industry? Is that the ploy? Is like get in dirt cheap and then make somebody pay an insane amount of money for it?
Yep.
I fucking hate scalpers.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, they're not scalping you. They're just going like, they're grabbing all the IO names because it's business oriented. And if it's like,
that's basically what it is.
Any website that has like 6 characters, the fewer the characters, the more expensive the domain name is that you can sell it for. And you're just like, oh my God, it's such a, like, going in like a business world is just, there's so many parts and facets to it. Where you're like, God, I just want to make the thing and sell the thing. And that, like, I have to, like, I don't do Facebook advertising. I'm very thankful that I'm able to make a living without doing that. But I know I have to do it. I know I have to do it. I know with the Keldfallen Kickstarter, I know I have to sell it. I know I have to do all that. And I hate doing all that. And I just want to, like, but I also don't know like a firm that does this shit, but I really would very much like to just go to like a business and be like, make me money. Like, that's what I want. I want the make me money business that I throw money to and they make me money. And that's the end of that. I would love nothing more to do that, but I gotta do it. And I hate doing it, man. I hate advertising. I hate marketing. I hate this shit. I just want to make the cool thing and then sell it. And it's a necessary evil, unfortunately, but goddamn, I shake both of my fists into the air. Why? So yeah, it is, it's very good. For those that want to know what Crown's YouTube channel is it the Crown DM? Or is it World of AITA?
Okay, question.
Do you not even know what your YouTube channel is, dog?
Let me go check.
Hey, man.
The Crown DM. We got 1,900 subscribers.
Yeah, go subscribe to the Crown DM.
Hell yeah, brother.
Is it at the Crown DM or is it the Crown DM? Did you get in before everyone had to put an at in their title? In their URL?
URL.
Yeah, is it YouTube?
No, it's at. It's at.
Okay, you are youtube.com/@thecrowndm. Got it.
It's all VODs. I think I got like 4 shorts.
He's starting, man.
Thanks, GM Shando, for clipping those and editing those. You're a badass.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, get it done.
They're funny. Well, go watch them.
Check it out. And if you want to support what we do, patreon.com/dumpster delvers. We got a lot of great tiers, a lot of great content coming out. MP3s of our Patreon. We've got the Into the Dumpster post podcast we post there. Right. We've also now been doing videos of Into the Dumpster for a higher tier. And of course, Grandma's Garage Sale. If you are feeling extra generous, want to do monthly AMAs, weekly shout outs, all that stuff. Join and support patreon.com/dumpster delvers. We appreciate everyone who has supported thus far. You've been getting some good support on that. It's more than I was expecting initially. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm very
It
thankful.
went from being like, yeah, we're just going to hang out and talk to being like, damn.
We're gonna do good. I mean, that is the goal, you know. I would you ever want to like if dumpster delvers ever like took off and like was definitely making like a big significant living for both of us, do you ever want to like move to like a bigger city and like get like a little studio space where we
like
just do it
studio?
live?
That'd be cute as fuck. I mean, if we're getting to the point where like it's basically my life, yeah. Dude, absolutely. Yeah. I'll move to some city. Like,
absolutely. Yeah. So
I get some like little apartment. I don't need a big space.
No, I need a big space, man. I my days of like, dude, I'll do whatever it takes to get by are over. I've got high-end needs that I need. You know what I mean? I
think it's because I've lived in like small rooms for like the bulk of my life. When I have a big room, I kind of go, what the fuck do I put in here? Like,
so you'd be good with
I cannot imagine having a house. Yeah, like where it's just me and I have to decorate the whole fucking house, dude. It's gonna be that Twitter meme of like women hate how easy it is to make men happy. It's a TV and like a folding chair and a bed with no frame.
Nah, man, you gotta
That's my fucking house.
You can live that way, but once you start splitting up what you're doing in each room, like it'll like you'll see your production go up when you're like, this is my room for work, this is my room for play, this is my room for sleep. You know, if your sleep's gonna be
say that,
yeah.
But it's also probably because I've never had enough money to decorate my fucking
I know.
my spaces.
Hey,
so
man.
I'm like, I don't need much. And then I bet the moment where I'm like, I can actually put the things that I want up on my wall.
I finally
wait a minute.
I finally started making money like a couple of years ago. You know what? Not a couple. I guess it's been a few years now. But I was like, oh my God, I'm actually making some fucking money. You're sick, dude. You know, so I mean, it'll happen when it happens. There's no time. And also at the same time, like I tell this to everyone, like, don't look at your age as a mark against you. You know what I mean? Don't be like, man, I should have made it in my 20s. Now I'm in my 30s. It's over. It's over for me. And I'm like, didn't Ronald Reagan become an actor in like his 40s and then became president of the United States in his like fucking 60s, dude? Like, it's never over, man. It's never over.
Yeah, man. You can't live by that meme that's like, I should have been investing in houses when I was in my mom's womb.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like dude. you have no fucking control over that, brother.
Well, it's very interesting because if you go into that mindset of, if I did this when it was this, you're gonna lose your fucking mind. Hindsight's 2020, always has been, always will be. You can't go back in the past to focus on your things. That's why I tell people who are interested in the market to go, hey, when should I get in the market? I'm like, now. If you actually want to get in the market, just do it now. Like, but isn't like the tariffs and the blah, 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 blah. I'm like, doesn't matter. Doesn't fucking matter. 10 years from now, this shit ain't gonna matter. Just get in. Just get in. Get some real safe stock, some real low risk. Earn that 8% a year, and you'll in 10 years from now, when you look back at the money you made, dude. When the market went on fire like a couple of months ago after fucking Liberation Day tariffs. And the markets are, when I went up, hey guys, I'm $20,000 poorer because of this. And,
my money's gone.
Yeah, I went, that fucking sucks. And then I just sat there and just went, it'll be back. I'm happy to tell you, as of like a couple of days ago, I all the money I lost has been made up. We're back. Now, keep in mind, that isn't me saying like, everything was fine, we shouldn't have panicked. No, that was about 2 months, about 2 months of money that could have been made that I had to play, that now we had to play catch up to get back to. So it still kind of sucked, but that is just to show you that like, It's all made up, dude. We've talked. It's all fucking made up.
It's all funny money.
Yeah, it's just rich people.
I don't want to go on that rant again.
Yeah, it's rich people playing rich games. You might as well play the game along with them. That is what I learned. You're like, what if I lose all my money? And it's like, well, and again, not a financial advisor. Don't do what I'm saying as financial advice. Talk to an actual financial advisor. But if you are investing smart in things that continuously go up in value, like gold and oil, and like portfolios that have stood the test of time and all that shit, you will never drop down to fucking a zero bank account. You're not gonna ever be. It's never all gonna be gone. You know what I mean? Because if it is, and the market just is dead, well, then we're all fucked. And it is the money that you're hiding in your mattress doesn't matter anymore. That is the sad truth. We're just playing in the illusion, baby. You might as well play along as well before everyone gets wise and goes, wait a minute. Hey, wait a second. So, what was that?
Oh, actually.
Yeah, what's up?
Dude, I meant to say it. I might as well say it now.
Yeah.
I wanted to thank dumpster delvers and everything like that, because I went from like I'm finally down into the 4-digit range on my fucking on my credit cards.
Holy shit!
It's like I can actually see the light at the end of the tunnel now.
God, that's awesome, dude. That.
I was super fucking stoked when I watched the combo shrink, and I went, yeah,
that's great.
It's dope.
Dumpster delvers doing the Lord's work right now. That's great, man. I can't wait for that credit card to be paid off, dude.
Oh man,
credit card debt.
I can't wait to do exactly what you told me not to do and just fucking cut off all my credit cards so I never see them ever again.
Well, not to do that? No, absolutely do that. What are you talking about?
Oh, thank God. Okay, thank God. Yeah, I fucking hate credit cards, man. They suck ass.
No. The only thing I said was, if you're going to use a credit card, pay off the balance every month. Do not let it linger and collect interest. And if you can't do that, then cut the fucking cards. Yeah, that's exactly it. My thing with credit cards is if you can pay off the balance, get yourself a credit card that gives you the enticing perks, the devil's deal, as it were, where you go, hey, so like Amazon, for example, if you buy things on Amazon with the Amazon card, you get 5% off. So you get 5% off that you get in Amazon points, which you can then redeem for cash money. But if you're paying off the card, that's just 5% they're giving you. They're enticing you to use the card. So then you go into debt, and then you get hit with like the 29 to 30 to whatever the crazy interest rate is now on purchases. But if you're just using the card to get the deal, the discount, and you pay off your card every month, you're getting the perks and not paying the interest. And that is what I tell people to do. Get yourself if the Amazon card's great. Get yourself a car. If you like to travel a lot, get yourself a credit card with frequent flyer miles, so that you can purchase plane tickets or upgrade to first class if you want to really lavish it up a little bit. But the key takeaway is you have to pay it every month, because if you're not, those perks mean jack shit over the interest rates. So that is the thing. That is what I say. But also, there's nothing wrong with being like, I'm not gonna use. I'm just gonna pay it back. I'm just gonna pay it off and never use it again, and that is fine too. Because what'll end up happening with credit card accounts, if they're inactive for a long period of time, they'll just close on their own. They're like, damn. Because they're fishing too. They're fishing for a sucker to use the card so they can make their money off of your interest. And then if you're not doing it, they just close the account. I said, it's good to have a credit line open so that if you are getting, if you are going to get a loan to buy a house and things like that, they want to see you need a credit score. And yes, I do agree that the fact that we live in a society where credit scores are vital to make big purchases like cars and homes and things like that that typically can't pay just with cash. You know what I mean? Because you don't have all that cash sitting around. That sucks that you have to play a game with something that is just so fucking, that can really just fuck your life up. I don't like that. And yeah, that is like, tail end capitalism talk. So, but yeah, you still have to have I recommend having a credit line open. You don't have to use the credit card. I do recommend keeping a credit open just to build the credit. You know what I mean? And that's for like buying home, because also I don't like renting. I don't like renting houses. I hate that I have to rent. But also I don't know where I'm going to move, and housing just continues to get expensive. So you have to kind of
it's kind of the market right now, right? Like,
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Well, because what, not to get into a big financial talk, but I mean, because of the way the market's at and with inflation, the interest rates are really high right now for mortgages. It's it's just very super fucking high, because when inflation is up, the Fed will step in and they'll raise the interest rate as well. Our interest rates were down to like 3.54%. Now they were at 6 or 7, but now the interest rates are kind of going back down. So it's just a wait and see game. But it kind of also doesn't matter when you get a loan, because you could also refinance that loan once the interest rates do go down. So there's just a lot of ways that you can money, the money is just a big game to me,
it's great. Explain to me, like I'm a toddler, what a mortgage is.
Okay. I'd be more than happy to do that. So
because that was something that never fucking
that never clicked for you. A mortgage is oh boy, how do I explain this? Like, a mortgage is a loan. It's a loan on the house. It's the principal of the house. So whatever, like, let's say you buy a $100K house at a 5% interest rate. They go, here's your mortgage. But the mortgage usually is a combination of things. So it is a combination of the principal payment against the loan of the house of the 100K or whatever the house is worth. It also includes the interest rate that you're also paying. And a lot of mortgages will have the interest rate pushed up, so you're paying very little principal in the beginning. And again, so principal is like you're paying the house. This is you took a loan out for $100,000 for the house. The principal is going towards that. But then you've got the interest rate. They want their interest. That's how they make their money. So then you're paying the interest that you have to pay every fucking month. Other things included in a mortgage will be your house insurance. So if you have a loan from the bank, they want to make sure that the house is properly insured in case they ever have to take it back from you from not paying the loan. So they'll ask you they will tell you as a condition of the loan, you need housing insurance with X amount of coverage. So here in Florida, you need wind insurance because we get hit with hurricanes all the goddamn time. So they're like, you need insurance. You can get your own insurance, but the bank will also just, if you can't or don't get insurance, they'll just get the insurance for you, and you'll still have to make the payments. And usually those are like a lot more expensive. So we've got principal, which is the base of the loan. You've got the interest rate. You've got the insurance on the house. And then you've got your taxes, your property taxes. Now you got to pay Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam wants their piece of the pie as well. All of these payments are combined into your mortgage, which is a monthly rate where you're paying principal, interest, insurance, and taxes. If you did not typically banks will also want you to put down 20%. So if you have $100,000 loan, the bank will be like, okay, can you pay us $20,000 in cash? And if you go, can't do that, they'll go, okay, so what can you pay? So they'll be like, okay, can you give us like 10%? Can you give us 5%? Can you give what can you give us? And then depending on what you do give them, because this happened to me, they will attach another payment to your mortgage, which is the mortgage insurance. And mortgage insurance is fucked because mortgage insurance is the bank. So the bank is taking an insurance policy on the mortgage itself so that if you don't pay it, they can file a claim to get their money, but it's something that you pay for, not the bank. That's like saying, hey man, I will let you drive my car, but you're gonna have to pay my car insurance. It's still my car in every sense of the word.
Nice.
But you're paying for the insurance on it. And so if the car gets wrecked, I get to make a claim against the car. You don't get shit, even though you were the one paying the insurance. So that's mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance will typically, I don't know if the terms have changed, but mortgage insurance will typically, as part of having mortgage insurance, you have to have it on your mortgage for 5 years. I'm sorry, 5 years, and 20% of the mortgage, the mortgage has to be paid off.
Okay.
Of the house. Once both conditions are met, then you can ask the bank to take the mortgage insurance off. And even then, they have the ability to be like, we're going to keep it for another blah, blah, blah. But that's what happened to me. I had mortgage insurance. I had to pay like $70 or $80 more a month because of it. And then after 5 years, I paid more than 20% off the house. And I went, hey, take this off. And they went, okay. And they took it off. It was easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So yeah, it's a lot of confusing shit. But essentially, your mortgage is just all of these parts together that typically equal the same amount as if you were paying rent. Back in the day, we were just doing a bunch of life lessons today. Back in the day, owning a house and paying a mortgage was cheaper than paying for rent. So which is why I was like, I'm going to fucking buy a house. If I'm going to get a bigger place, pay less for it, and the property is mine, fuck yeah, man. I'm going to fucking do that. But nowadays, renting is actually become cheaper than owning a house. And that's where things are kind of getting a little shitty. But the renting prices have been too high. So this year they've actually started to like stagnate a little bit. Like this year I was able to convince my landlord, quote unquote. They were like, hey, so your rent's going up, which they say every year. Your rent's going up. And we're going to attach this new fee. And I went, don't attach that fee and don't raise my rent. And they went, no. They went, okay.
oh, badass.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'm not. I don't want to do that. And they went, okay. Because I also know where the rent market is now. Dude, my brain is everywhere. Nice. You're locked in right now. I keep everything synced. And I know right now the renters market's pretty fucking bad. Rent is too damn high. The rent is too damn high. Remember that meme? And I know for a fact. That it's just that. So it'll be good. It'll fucking be good. So
something I heard about a lot was like a lot of these houses having to refinance, like especially in the East Coast, because renters, like people were coming in, they were buying them up, and then they would try to like rent them out or whatever for obscene prices,
correct,
and then nobody would buy them, like nobody would move in. So then these houses were just sitting there, kind of like wasting away.
Well, what was happening in like 2020, like pre-COVID, esque, like pre-post, like just at the end of COVID, were a lot of businesses. What's really been kind of fucking suck. What kind of sucks is you've got these big companies that are buying houses now.
That's what it was.
With the capital, you've got corporations purchasing up the houses, which we are, which is also why I kind of want to buy a house sooner rather than later, because I could see a future where houses are all corporate owned and you will have to pay rent. And that's when things are going to get fucking dark. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to like get a house earlier rather than later. But essentially what was happening was, because the interest rates were so goddamn good, these corporations with a shit ton of houses in their portfolio, which means they can have a loan go against all of these properties they already own. which means so they can use the banks at their whims, and they're paying next to nothing because the interest rates are so low. They've been going around purchasing. My first house I was bought by a corporation, and the government had to step in. I think a few years ago, because I got a check in the mail for like several $100s. I was like, hey, that corporation undersold you that house. And we said, stop that, and told them they had to pay out, X amount of money to everyone.
I was kicked their ass.
And I was like, sick. Awesome. Well, at the time, this corporation was offering up way more money than if I were to, because I went to a realtor to try and sell the house. And then I went to this corporation. And the realtor did this thing where it was like, yeah, it was just this huge thing. So, yes. Also, I want to let you know I'm keeping track of the count on the super chat. We currently have 5 people there. Thank you guys so much. YouTube, you don't have to let me know about anything. We will take care of it. Thanks again. So yes, we were kind of dealing with this thing where like this corporation was kind of, was offering me a lot more money than the realtor was, and so I kind of had to be like. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely had to do that. So we, that's what we ended up doing. We ended up doing that.
It was obviously something you didn't know at the time, right? That they were like kind of being a little scummy.
I mean, I knew they were being scummy, and I also knew what was happening in there, but I wasn't gonna like not pay. I was also just like not gonna like not pay, you know what I mean? I wasn't gonna take be like, yeah, I'm not gonna take the extra money on principle. I'm like, no, I'm trying to sell this house for as much money I'm gonna get.
Money now.
And if a corporation is gonna come in and offer that, then absolutely, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's kind of what happened there. Give me 1 second. So
okay.
There we go.
Ban user.
What? Give me 1 second. I'm typing ban. So yeah, we're about 5 super chats away from the story, and YouTube's being weird at the tracking stuff. We are kind of closely keeping an eye on it, so thanks, guys. But sit back, relax, enjoy the show. I would greatly appreciate that. Hey, Crown.
Yeah.
I got a little horror story for you.
Very well.
Are you ready to listen to some, speaking of D&D horror stories? I got some D&D horror stories for you.
What you got?
Well, give me one moment and let me open up one of my many windows. We're gonna go into a little bit of RPG horror stories. Woo! Big old spooky. What's up?
I just remember our conversation about horror stories. I was like, I can't read that one. I can't read that one. I can't read that one.
It always feels that way. Fortunately, I definitely didn't get much of this vibe, but yeah, there was definitely some good ones. You've got an option between 2 horror stories today, Mr. DM.
My goodness, you spoil me.
Because the other horror story will be told, will specifically be told, what was it to say, during the after show, during the Inside the Dumpster. So, your 2 stories are, I hate wild magic. I hate wild magic. I hate wild magic. I really hate wild magic. By the way, it's getting more and more capitalized as after every I hate wild magic. So it's someone who's least amount of wild magic.
Okay.
These are both kind of the same length too. And then the second story is labeled, they flaked so much they thought they were in a different game.
Okay, I want to read that one.
Is that the one you want?
Yeah, that one sounds really spicy.
Okay, and then we'll tell the wild magic one. We'll tell the wild.
I like the passion in the wild magic one. But I'll be honest, the concept that they were such bad, they basically flaked so hard that they thought they were in a different game is
Mhm.
kind of a nutty concept.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll go ahead and read that. And then the Wild Magic one we will go over in our Inside the Dumpster special. All right, guys. So, Crowned. Here it is. They flaked so much they thought they were in a different game. I've been running a remote D&D game for a few years now with some friends from college. A few weeks ago, one of them said they wanted to talk. We hopped on a call and she explained how she wasn't having fun and was considering leaving the game. I felt terrible. I asked a little bit as to why. According to her, she felt the game was too world building and was bereft of combat. Which bereft? Is that the too much or too little?
Lacking.
Oh, she was out for blood. Okay. It was too world building.
That is a wild fucking statement.
And was bereft of combat. I felt terrible for half a second until I realized she was wrong. In the last 10 sessions alone, they had fought a dragon turtle in sea combat, gone through an entire homebrew dungeon with multiple unique encounters, including alcohol elements, and a sea lich, an entire crawl through a burning city with snipers, and a brachydios.
A brachydios.
Yeah, a brachydios. And that night, they would be playing a game of lethal tag with a trio of gunslingers. However, my friend, for all my love for them, is a huge flake. It actually, yeah, come on, what were you saying?
There it is.
Yeah. It had actually been a bit of a problem for encounter design, as she was the cleric, with others having to play her character at several points because she was so pivotal. I looked back at their attendance, and the 1 in 5 sessions she would attend was when the party happened to be resting or going over magic items. I explained this to her greatly, and she said she'd try to attend more. That night, as the rest of the party arrived, Discord notified me she had chosen to play House Flipper instead. Tonight, my players are besieging a dragon's lair, and I'm building it in mind that they won't have a cleric.
That is so holy shit. Yeah, I just think your world, I just think you spend a little too much time on world building. And it's like, you played 1 out of 9 sessions, dog. You can't make that conclusion.
Oh my fucking God.
I would be fucking pissed. Hey, guess what? Yeah, it's too world building. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know, sorry. Maybe you're not made for this table.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Ooh,
my bad. My bad.
Ooh, so sorry. Ooh.
I'll be more considerate of your time next time. I'll put more combat in next time. But you know what? Let them finish out this game.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy.
How to figure out that you're never invited back to the table.
Dude, that shit is really good. Oh my fucking God. So yeah, that's the horror story. That's it. Nice and simple. Oh my God. I liked the ending. That night, as the rest of the party arrived, Discord notified me she had chosen to play House Flipper instead.
Yep.
Oh my God.
OP, not the asshole.
Well, crowd, before we wrap things up for the night, how about a little Am I the Asshole?
I've been preparing.
You've been preparing mentally and dealing with assholes.
I've been locking in. I've been psychoanalyzing every single person I've met. Just so I'm prepared. I'm ready.
Fucking God, that's insane.
I've met random people in the store and been like, you have a problem with your father. And then I walk away and they go, what did you say? And I go, you can't hit me. I'm a veteran. And then I walk faster.
Which is not that fast because you're wobbling with a fucking cane.
And they won't hit me. They won't hit me. It's great.
Yeah.
I can get away with murder.
And you're like, what? And then you go, I'm a veteran. And then you just kind of hobble away. And
go, what does that mean?
Dude. I feel like if you just say I'm a veteran with your cane, there is just you're done. There's nothing more. that can be done at that set. That's nothing more that
I
can
wish that
be
was the
said.
case. Momo fucking pushes me all the
That's because
time.
Momo knows better. Momo fucking knows better, dude.
I go, stop it, I'm a veteran. And she goes, yeah, prove it, pussy. And then she pushes me down the stairs.
Boo, 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 boo. And she's just going.
And I go, why do you always do this?
My favorite stories are the ones where we paint Momo as a veteran abuser.
It's true.
Oh my God. Those are my favorite stories. Those are the best ones. All right. Once again, we are playing, well, because we are DMs or GMs, I suppose, of our own right. We are playing a little game called Am I the Asshole? Not only will we be reading 2 stories from the Reddit Am I the Asshole, but we will also be doing a little game where Crown will have to guess which one is the asshole and which one is not the asshole. We've also added a little extra for a bonus point if Crown wants to go in on the Am I Not the Asshole post with nobody's the asshole. Like I forget what it was called, like everyone's fine or something like that.
No assholes here or something like that.
Yeah. Let me actually, I could probably find it. Or I thought I could find it. God damn it. Oh, there it is. Yeah. No assholes here is the additional rank. So the way this works is Crown guesses which one's the asshole, which one's not the asshole. And if Crown wants to go in for double points, he can guess with the not asshole that no one's an asshole here. However, if he guesses incorrectly and it's just a normal not the asshole, he actually loses the points.
I lose my belt.
Yeah, he actually loses.
I'm undefeated right now, so
yeah, you're doing great so far. So he can take the point, or he can go for the double point. But if he goes for the double point, it is a double or nothing. That was the rule. So he wants to play it
hang
safe.
my head in shame.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, you are undefeated right now. So will you gamble a little bit? Maybe have I spiced it up a little bit? We'll see. We'll see here. So I've got 2 for you. You let me know which one you want to read first. We'll be reading both of them today. Am I the asshole for not paying for something I ordered and walking out?
Interesting.
Okay.
And
am I the asshole for showing up to my nephew's birthday party without the cupcakes I said I would bake?
You're gonna need a good excuse for that one. Okay. You said you would bang them. All right.
You never know. You never know what's going on. But also, am I the asshole for not paying for something I ordered and walking out? A little bit of a tricky one today already. Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of a tricky one over here. Yeah. They both kind of sound like asshole-ish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I'm really gonna need context for the first one, because there are a lot of places where I could see myself just being like, yeah, go fuck yourself, and then I walk out.
Well, which one do you want to read first?
Let's start with the first one.
Am I the asshole for not paying for something I ordered and walking out? I, 23 female, have a friend group with 5 women, including me. Their ages range between 21 and 26. This happened yesterday, and I need opinions on whether I was right to walk out without paying or wrong for doing so. So yesterday, my friend Lily, 21 female, birthday. She just turned 21 and wanted a birthday dinner at a fancy restaurant. Me and 4 other girls were in attendance. All my friends drink aside from me. I'm not a drinker, have never been one, and will never be one. Me and my friends get seated down, and Lily, all happy, suggests me to buy an alcoholic beverage. I refuse, and the rest of my friends decide to chime in and tells me to get one. Once again, I refuse. They know I don't drink and how I feel about it. But basically, them begging me to get a drink kept going on for about 5 minutes. Even sent the waiter away because I hadn't agreed yet. I'm not good under pressure, especially when multiple people are telling me to do one thing. I eventually said yes, though, because they kept begging. Lily even suggested a drink and said it's for beginners, whatever that means. I told them I didn't want it and that I know I won't like it. They said I will. The drink came, and as I stated, I didn't like it. One sip, and I wanted it gone. They told me to keep trying it, but I refused, and luckily they just dropped it. Anyways, the bill comes, and I separated the meal that I got from the drink. They all asked me why, hey, I did that, as I should be buying the drink. I said I wasn't buying it since I didn't willingly get it. They begged me to get it, knowing I didn't want it. Lily said I could have said no. I did, many times at that. They kept going back and forth with me on it, and eventually I just got up and walked out of the restaurant. I sent the money for my meal to Lily and stated that if she or no one else was going to buy the drink, then they shouldn't have begged me to get it. My husband stated I wasn't in the wrong and that I should distance myself from them. However, the text messages from all four of them haven't stopped. Am I the asshole?
Well, all right. My mind was expecting something else entirely. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear and cut. Not the asshole. Your friends literally pressured you, which is kind of fucking scummy to begin with.
Very scummy, yeah.
For them to be like, "Oh, just get a drink, please."
But also
like,
keep in mind,
weird, dog.
Also keep in mind, one thing we've learned about this is, does Reddit think?
Oh, true.
Does Reddit think that? Because there have been times where we've been like, not the asshole, and then people have been like, you are such an asshole. You're like, what?
Oh, shit, that's right. I forgot Reddit hates women.
Fuck. Yeah, that's true. Women and children. Women and children.
Damn.
Would you like me to read the next one?
Personally, to me, not the asshole. Your friends are assholes, and you should maybe consider having a very firm conversation with them. All right, we're in the next one. Oh boy, this one's gonna be good.
It's all like women and children. That is what this Reddit seems to be about.
Correct.
Am I the asshole for showing up to my nephew's birthday party without the cupcakes I said I would bake? All right. A couple of weeks ago was my nephew Sam's 10th birthday. I love Sam so much. I'll probably not be lucky enough to have my own son, so I am so happy to be able to know him. But I don't have a great relationship with my older brother. He did everything the right way, good grades, good school, good job, good wife. I have always been jealous at how easily being normal comes to him. I did not do well in school and got in a lot of trouble, then finished college. I've picked shitty boyfriends, basically every wrong choice you would make. Jesus Christ, this is...
You are trying really hard for me to get to sympathize with you. You are trying really hard. I don't need to know all that. I don't need to know all that.
Suffice to say, he and I are not on the same page, and he doesn't take me seriously. But the one thing he does appreciate is that I can bake. He asked if I could bake cupcakes for the party in a Spider-Man theme. Of course. Well, then I was laid off. I didn't do anything wrong except be the last person hired. I was devastated and ended up drinking with my roommates instead of baking the cupcakes. It just felt like another in a long line of stupid things. I ended up going to the grocery store and buying cupcakes at 2 different stores, which was hard on the bus, but it was important. Wait, what? I ended up going to the grocery store and buying cupcakes at 2 different stores, which was hard on the bus, but it was important. Thank God it's graduation season. I showed up and told my brother up front what happened and apologized. He said, "You've got to be fucking kidding me." He was furious. I apologized a bunch of times. I never once made an excuse. It was 100% entirely my fault. He told me that I shouldn't have even come, and the cupcakes were the only reason he'd invited me. I felt awful and left without seeing Sam. My mom called me when I was on the bus ride home to ask me why I would be such an airhead and show up without the one thing I was invited for. She said she thought she raised me smarter than that, but then said, well, I guess not, with an ugly little ha at the end. I accept that I am fully 10,000% responsible for not having the Spider-Man cupcakes, but I think I did my best to try to make it up for it by getting any cupcakes I could find. I didn't show up empty-handed. I didn't put it on them to come up with a solution. Am I wrong? And was it the wrong thing to do?
Ooh.
Pretty tough.
Oh, Well, okay.
Remember, one of these stories are the asshole, the other is not. And we've also got the optional everyone's fine or nobody, no assholes here.
No assholes here.
If you wanna double down.
Damn.
That's not a guarantee though. That's not a guarantee if you want to play it safe. Yeah.
First one, not the asshole. That's a for certain. Your friends, dickheads.
Okay.
Second one, I'm leaning not the asshole purely on the emphasis that you were fired like literally moments, a couple days before, like a day before the birthday. I can kind of get that. I think you really tried to now I'm going to psychoanalyze you. I think you tried really hard for me to get me to like you by telling me your fucking 29-page backstory, which was kind of unnecessary, if I'm being honest. I didn't need to know about all your failed boyfriend attempts. I'm going to say no assholes here.
Okay, keep in mind, I have to reiterate. There are one story is asshole. Another story is not the asshole. For the not the asshole, you can double down on it and say no assholes here. For the bonus point. Yeah.
Damn. Oh, so there is an asshole here.
Always in this game, there will always be an asshole and always be not an asshole. That is always the case.
I'm gonna guess that Reddit took the second one as the asshole then.
The cupcakes story?
Yeah, cupcake is asshole, drinks not the asshole.
Okay. That's
my
Do you want to double down and say
I'll double down and say
the drinks is no assholes here?
Yeah. Wait. Is that no assholes like nobody in the story is an asshole?
Correct.
Or hell no.
Okay, yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah, there is a separate degree of not the asshole where it's no assholes here. And if you double down on that, you get double the points. But if it's just not the asshole, you get nothing. You think
her friends are huge fucking assholes.
you think it's just a regular not the asshole?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your final answer, Crown?
Yes, sir.
Well, Crown, you are correct on your choices. Once again,
take my victory lap, boys.
Yes.
I'm him.
And now to put another spin on the game. Much like how sometimes a not the asshole post will get nobody's an asshole ranking, there is also a separate ranking for asshole posts.
Oh, everybody's the asshole?
It's simply labeled everyone sucks. And that is what this story is. Everybody
Honestly,
sucks.
Yep, I would slap that on the cupcake story fucking immediately.
Everyone's the asshole in this story.
Damn.
Everybody fucking sucks at this
Your
fucking
mom sucks,
story.
your brother sucks, you suck.
Yep.
You could have been, I get you got like your legs knocked out from underneath you, but
I think what made this person the asshole was the fact that they were sort of selling themselves as the underdog in this story. Yeah, but also, I think what also sealed it was when this person lost their job, which you're like, okay, I can see where that is distraught. That's a very distraught thing, and you need to save your money, so you didn't have the ability to build the cupcakes things. But the fact that they went, I lost my job, so I went drinking with my friends to unwind instead of making cupcakes for my nephew. I think that is where Reddit was just kind of like, yeah, you kind of suck for that one, dude. You kind of suck for that one.
Again, the whole preamble of what was me? My brother's better than me in every way, shape, or form. Yep. Had you just skipped that part, I think more people would have sympathized with them when they were like, I lost my job and I went drinking. Yeah. I think more people would have been like, you know what? That's fair. If I just lost my job suddenly, a day before the fucking birthday, I'd also probably go drink.
Yeah, but I think it was the fact that they went drinking instead of making the cupcakes for their nephew, you know, which
don't fucking puppy dog me.
Which doesn't look good, honestly, which isn't a good look. They're like, I get it, but also, you know what I mean? Like,
I'd love to hear the top comments. I'd love to hear what people have to.
Absolutely.
Thank this person for.
Yeah. So the top comment for "Am I the asshole for not paying for something I ordered and walked out?" Said, "Not the asshole. They are not your friends." That's it.
That motherfucker gets it. That dude gets it right there.
The second top comment said, "You ordered it regardless of why you ordered it, making it your responsibility." Which is right. Yeah. If you didn't want to order it, you should have just stuck to your guns. But when you gave in, it became your responsibility. Next time, just stick to your no. At 23, you should have a backbone forming already. And I think this motherfucker got Reddit gold for that. Which is scummy as hell, dude.
When you're in a fucking group like that where you're just getting harangued the entire time.
Terrible.
You can't, like, unless you physically leave the table before you do anything, you're gonna be stuck with buy it.
You're just feeling.
I just sit there and say no.
People who are your friends, for people who are supposed to be your friends and get your back.
You eventually just go, fuck it, dude. Like, dude, leave me. I just want to be here for your goddamn birthday. Leave me alone.
One of the responses actually says, "You're the only level-headed one here." Reddit moment. Reddit fucking moment. Reddit fucking moment.
Replying to that comment?
Yeah. Reddit fucking moment.
Jesus
Reddit
Christ.
fucking moment, dude. That, I think, honestly, I get more impressed, not in the positive stance of what a piece of shit Redditors can fucking be.
Yeah, where they can just kind of come out. Like, there are some parts where they're like, you go, yeah,
preach,
Reddit
brother, preach. You're like, what the fuck, dude?
And then there are other times where they're like, God, why won't you just shut the fuck up?
Like, holy fucking shit, dude. Like, I get it. I get it. I fucking understand this person and just being like, fine, I'll just get the goddamn drink, you know, and being pissed off at it. And then that probably ruined her entire night. And she was probably thinking the entire time, like, when this bill comes, I ain't paying for this fucking drink. This, I
kind of like gritting her teeth, getting ready for it.
I would have been, probably having a miserable fucking time the entire time. And the bill comes over and then you're just like, all right, here's the money for my bill. It's like, what about the drink? I'm like, I'm buying the drink. I didn't want a fucking drink. You know, like, I absolutely would have done that. I would have 100% done that, where I just feel like fucking pressured. But the thing is, I would have also then, like, after getting shit for it, I also would have just bought the drink. That's what I would have done. So but not because I think I should have, but because I feel pressured. And I would have, well, I feel pressured, but then I would have also felt like, oh, damn it, I guess it was my mistake. Because I should have stuck to my guns. Because I don't want the confrontation. Which is, again, that's just a full degree. I am proud of her for sticking to her guns and saying, fuck you, I'm not buying this drink.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm not going to fucking do it. And I'm just like, good on you. Because you know what? Outside looking in, I would absolutely be like, these people are not your friends. You know, there's a lot of times where you have people who you think who believe they have your best interest at heart. And then you look outside looking in after you kind of like end the friendship and you go, oh shit, you know what? I do not regret that whatsoever. These were some pretty toxic friends.
Didn't care about me at all.
Yeah. So, but unfortunately it's a lot harder when you're in the abusive friend, the toxic friendship, you know, before going into that. So I really do sympathize with her and I'm glad she stuck to her guns and I'm fucking pissed at the people that are like, it was your responsibility. You should have fucking did it anyway. It's like, yeah. You're looking at this black and white, you know, and I think some Redditors do that. They look at things matter-of-factly and not understanding that there is just...
Yeah, they can't really empathize.
So much gray.
Psychoanalyze them again.
Yeah, that's not that, dude. That's all this Reddit is. That's all this Reddit is. So, so many people. Fortunately, that was the second comment. The second most liked upvoted comment was the regardless of why you should have just ordered it. And then the rest of the responses are like, "Amen, brother. Finally, someone maybe making some fucking sense." You know,
Right.
it is. This is why I don't go on Reddit, because if I really just want to keep digging into these posts, and I know for a fact that if I kept digging, I'm just gonna find more and more assholes in the asshole thing.
Yep.
So
Just kind of making yourself more mad.
That's why it's like, okay, I read all I need to know. Cupcakes. This
one's gonna be really good.
Yeah. The top comment said, yeah. So by the way, when you so the way the flare works is everyone has to post, am I the asshole or not the asshole, and if they want to like rank it, right, they type NTA, which means not the asshole, or I don't know what the asshole vote is.
You're the asshole, maybe YTA.
Well, it might be YTA. It might be YTA. So it's very interesting because you will see some responses, like someone said everyone sucks here, for the drink post. But everyone essentially said the flare, the most voted up was not the asshole. And we also make sure we go with posts that have like a lot of posts, so that if it says not the asshole, it's because a majority of people have voted saying not the asshole. So, but if you type ESH, that's everyone sucks here. So the top post was not the asshole on the drink story. And then for the top post for the birthday party is everyone sucks here. And this is from a top 1% commenter. Yes, you screwed up. And you probably let down your nephew, who seems to be the only member in the family you have a relationship with. But to say that's the only reason you're invited is cruel and heartless. Maybe you need to take some time away from all of your family and work on yourself. Learn to put up boundaries and how to keep up with commitments.
Solid.
That's a solid advice. That's the top ranking there.
I'll take that.
I'm going down to the response that says, hard disagree. Kid didn't even know about the cakes, so no issue here.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
What does he care? He didn't even know it was there.
He didn't fucking even know that was coming, dude. Fuck them kids. Classic Reddit. Classic Reddit moment.
Fucking Reddit moment. What do you care? He doesn't matter. What does he know?
He didn't work a day in his life. He doesn't know what a reward is in front of his face. Fuck them kids. Oh, fuck. Kid didn't even know about the cake, so no issue here. She apologized and acknowledges she made a mistake. Brother should have showed some compassion and comforted her about the job. Going drinking after a blow like that, especially when young, is not that surprising. Mother was way out of order to say anything that she did. OP doesn't suck. She's just human. For those people to say that was the only reason she was invited is outrageous. Fuck them.
Yep. Yeah, the mother, honestly, the actual genuine asshole.
Yeah.
To be like, I thought I raised you better to him.
Oh, man. And I
throw a rock at your forehead. How about that? Huh?
I know people with toxic parents like that too. And every time, because why don't my kids call me? They say from the nursing home. Yeah. Like, and I'm just, it very much is that. And I hate parents that make themselves out to be the victims for their children. I hate that. And I'm just like, dude, this is the job. Like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Your parents are not your friends. And any parent that tries to make you like their friend, like, that is a red flag to me personally. That is a big fucking red flag. So yeah, and then saying shit like that where you're just kind of like, you piece of, you're always a letdown, you're always a disappointment. You're like, holy Jesus, dude, god damn. So once again, Crown, well done. You've earned your point. You are undefeated.
Thank you.
We've made
I need a belt.
Yeah, we've made the game a little more complicated now. So now with the not the asshole, you can double down and say.
Everyone sucks.
Yeah, Noah's the asshole. Not the asshole. And then for the assholes, you can double down and say everyone sucks. Everyone's the asshole in the story. So yeah, it's kind of an everyone's the asshole, no one's the asshole, or only the reader's the asshole, or the reader's not the asshole. And there will always be one asshole story and one not the asshole story. And on the rare occasion, I give you the no one's the asshole and the everyone sucks. If you manage to get both those right, dude, 3 points in one story, that's the belt. That's the achievo right there. That's the bragging right.
Understood.
That's the bragging right. I won't give those too often though, but that's gonna be the big bragging right. That's gonna be a very important moment in Dumpster Delver history when that does happen. That's like the champion round right there. So
I'm ready.
Keep yourself armed. Yeah, keep your peepers open and see what the hell's happening. Before I wrap up today, I did want to talk about the there's an interesting post that came up that I saw on our on the IO Discord that was in the D&D talk section, and it specifically was going on about a new D&D adventure that was just posted. It was a free posted adventure, no cost to you. You can just download or get this adventure for free. Justin Alexander made a post on Blue Sky stating that the Borderlands Quest Goblin Trouble is designed as an introduction adventure for first-time DMs and first-time players. Includes a bunch of advice on how to start and run your first session. It's also really bad, apparently, according to them.
Oh.
So,
how bad is bad?
Well, I mean, I kind of wanted to briefly go over it. There was one contention that I saw that I didn't agree with. And that is apparently what D&D is starting to do with their adventures. And I guess they were doing it since they might have done it with Shattered Obelisk as well. It's like with the maps that they use, they aren't putting map markers on the maps anymore.
What the hell?
Yeah. So you're like, well, where's the entry? Like, so for this example, they used a map specifically from the DM's guide called the Underdark Warren map. So this adventure kind of just reuses a map in the DM's guide. But it has no markers whatsoever. It's got a bunch of empty openings and caves and things like that. And it very much is kind of running into play where like you kind of start, it says start at the eastern part of the map. You go, oh, okay. And then you start there, and as you move, you kind of like begin guiding the players through all of this shit. You know, you're like, oh, there's a dead spider section on this map, but they don't mark it. And I think essentially what they want you to do is wherever the players go, throw a thing at them, throw the next thing at them, essentially giving the illusion of choice over the choice itself is what that kind of felt like. And I'm just like, it's very interesting to me because I feel like D&D is trying to make themselves, and I kind of hate to say this, I feel like they're trying to make themselves super accessible to people and DMs, like a little over accessible. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of, and again, like accessibility is very important. I'm not one of these people that are like, I remember back in the day where like drows were one thing and they need to be this thing and orcs were this thing and I hate how freely blah blah. Like I'm not talking about that. I mean, it almost feels like I don't know, man.
I get it. You lose a lot of like both what you're trying to offer people,
right?
Because when everyone's the audience, nobody's the audience.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to make DMing. They're trying to take the work out of DMing, and again, that's not necessarily a bad thing to make the DM's life easier, but it does really feel like these adventures are turning into use these maps, you know, and I'm especially curious when this adventure module does come out, if there are going to be instances of them going, use this map in the DM's guide on page so-and-so. Because if that is what it turns into, that I'm holding judgment, but I really hope that is not what D&D adventures are shaping up to be. You know what I mean? Where it's like,
I don't like that.
I don't like that either, but I don't know if that ends up being the case. I actually went ahead and sent the post to you on the thing. But yeah. But they're also like, you know, send them the player version. I'm like, dude, this is the player version. Like, what do you mean player version? This is both The player version and the map you posted are the same fucking thing. Like, the only thing that is different about the player version is you don't have the compass on the right-hand side that says 1 square equals 5 feet. But I mean,
yeah, because like I know all the adventure maps that you get.
Yeah.
Like Strahd and stuff like that. There are 2 maps. There's the DM's map, and then there's the player map.
And then they have markers on that.
Barren.
Yeah. And then they have markers on the DM side.
Exactly.
But it seems that they're kind of foregoing markers from these maps. And it's a direction that I don't agree with that D&D is personally taking when you've kind of got this free form like cave, for example, and then you're just kind of going like, yeah, I mean, anything can happen anywhere. You just decide how you want to do it. And like, it doesn't even tell you like, oh, make your own markers. You know, when it says introducing the adventure, it goes on the adventure hook. You know, they explain what the adventure hook is. The adventure hook starts the character at the point where they've already done some work in finding the location. They're ready to jump into the main part of the adventure. When you start an adventure this way, it generally gets the players into the action faster, but it also might bring some questions. Then it kind of goes into sometimes the adventure text answers these questions. Other times it doesn't, because there's no way the text can accommodate every question your player might ask. One of the challenges and one of the joys of being a dungeon master is getting to add to your imagination to the story. And I definitely feel like they're kind of leaning into that a little too hard, where they're just like, yeah, but you also kind of have to like go into it.
You need something.
Yeah, you kind of need, so yeah, exactly. So it's you know, they kind of instruct like how to do like game flow, which is nice, and how to narrate success and failures, how to present encounters, and like these are very useful things. But I also, again, feel like they're really like scaling back on the tool set part of it and kind of doing this sort of like don't make your own thing. Do you use our things? That's what they did with the monster manual, for example. You know, and it's I mean, like, if we're coming from a view of accessibility, where you're like, hey, you don't need to be a game designer to DM. And it's like, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. You do not need to have a game design passion or aspirations of being a game designer to be a dungeon master if you want to run a game. I 100% agree with that. However, I feel like that Wizards of the Coast is sort of taking that and running with it, you know, because you're not including tool sets. You're not including tool sets, not including the ability to make your own monsters. You're not including markers on the map, for example. They're kind of taking this like, you don't have to be a game designer to run this stuff. And if you are a game designer, well, figure it out. Do it your own way, because we're not instructing you on how to do it. And
it's kind of
No, go on.
It's kind of nutty, because like you don't need to even have the idea of like game design whatsoever when picking up D&D.
Yeah.
You could be like, I just want to play games with my friends. But what if you actually take the hobby beyond face value?
Yeah.
You start becoming a game designer.
If you want to.
Even just playing it normally, you start looking at stuff that like, what did Wizards of the Coast do for this? And then you go, I could do that. Oh, this is it. This is all that's in an AP. Yeah. I could fucking make an AP. This is all it is. And then you start changing the AP. And that's game design.
Now,
changing the AP.
Yeah. Now, I will say this, because I also feel like people can look at this in a different direction. Because there's another camp of people who kind of go on the deep end of playing D&D wrong, quote unquote. When you have like role play sessions, or if you're not doing any like big role, you're not doing roles, you're not really using any of the mechanics in the game. They get really fucking worked up about this and being like, that's not Dungeons and Dragons, you're not playing D&D, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, who fucking, I'm like, why does this, first of all, why does this matter to you? Why are you policing people, other people's tables that you don't even
I want to know that so bad. I want to know so bad.
Well,
what I do affects you.
Yeah, that's, dude, I got a comment on one of the shorts, and this is a positive comment that said that fucking finally understood what the hardcore games were about. They said, I like it. Yeah, they said, I like this because the dice make the characters, not you. And I'm like, yes. They were like, if you were not doing this, if you weren't building the characters this way, you wouldn't have a Tommy, you wouldn't have a Rag, you wouldn't have a Scrumbus. You wouldn't have characters that would not exist in a D&D world because people would want to build their characters a particular way. These are characters that would not exist in the world if it were not for the fact that they were built through the heart. And I responded to that person. I was like, that's it. You get it.
Yes.
You get that is why we play hardcore the way we play hardcore. That's why it's a 3d6 stat system. That's why you roll down the line. You don't get to choose where you put your stats. That's why we do this system. To everyone else that goes, there's no fun in that. You can't have fun when you have 11 as your highest stat. You can't. I'm like, you don't get it. This is not a story about heroes or being born a hero. This is a story about becoming one by being some little shit in a little village that could, easily die scaling up the mountain. This is about the hero's journey. This is about becoming that hero, forging your tales beyond adversity. That is what makes hardcore so fucking cool. Because we get to explore character concepts that would normally not be explored. It kind of puts you in a little bit more of a uncomfortable place so that we can see what kind of character you're going to become.
It immediately breaks any concept of a meta you might have as a player.
Yes.
Any experience you might have in Dungeons and Dragons is immediately thrown out the window when the DM goes, you're rolling down your stat array.
Yep.
That's going to be your stats. And then we're going to roll for your ancestry.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't even get to pick my ancestry.
No.
So like, I had like a 14 in strength. And it's like, if I pick Goliath, I can make that a 16. And it's like, no, you're an Aarakocra. And it's like,
What?
Yeah. What am I going to do with this guy? And then you immediately, like, if you're not a fucking pussy, you start cooking. You start thinking about the character. And you go, how can I make this work? I'm a 9-int wizard.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, that's
I can't really pick Fireball.
Or I can't be a wizard. That's why you're able to pick your class, not roll it. Because you're like, what would I be good at? And you're like,
right. That's right. Fucking Junie rolled for her class.
Yeah. Sometimes people will roll for their class. But sometimes you'll just pick a class, and be like, well, what will I become? So because there is sort of this, and again, I will never tell you how to play your game, but I will absolutely go after the people that tell me how I should play my games. And in the sense of like, there are this like sect of players and DMs that have, they're big fans of Critical Role. They're big fans of all these shows and blah, blah, blah. And they're going, this is how you should play D&D. This is how you should be playing. The fact that you're rolling all this shit because of blah, 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 you shouldn't be doing that. That's not fun. And it's like, we're having fun. How dare you come into our space and be like, you're not having fun. And it's like, we're having a fucking blast right now.
I'm having a great time, man.
Yeah. Like, who are you talking for? Because it sounds like you're talking about yourself. You know what I mean? It sounds like you're talking in place of yourself. It's whatever.
They're victimizing themselves on our behalf. And it's like,
I
look around.
hate that.
I hate that. Nobody, you are not representing anybody, brother.
Yeah. You're causing a problem where there is none. And it is. I don't like people who, go out of their way to try and make themselves the hero of the comment section, because I'm like, what are you doing right now? Like, who does this benefit, this post that you're making? Because why? Because you watched a lot of, Brindley Mulligan videos that told you the way you were supposed to run the game, or you know what I mean? Like, there are a couple of core factors.
Even Brennan Lee Mulligan would not be like, yeah, this is how you run the game. He's big on like play the game however the fuck you want and
Again,
don't bother other people about
yeah,
it. Like,
there's the only absolutes in TTRPGs is D&D is that you're playing the game the way that you want to play it as. That's it. Just play. Are you having fun running the game? Are your players having fun playing the game? Thumbs up. We don't need to go any farther than that. It's the same reason why I tell people, you want to play Pathfinder? Go play Pathfinder. Do you want to play some other World of Darkness? You want to play, some other game, Morgborg, Kids on Bikes? You want to play a game? Play it. Is D&D the most popular system out there? Yes, but they also have a marketing juggernaut behind them called, I don't know, Hasbro, so that is why they are the most popular system, but that doesn't make them the best system and the system of your choice for your table. It's the same reason why I go off on people when they tell me I should just play Pathfinder because I keep doing things that are more Pathfinder focused. And I tell people to shut the fuck up because it's really none of their goddamn business because you want me to play a game that you're a fan of. No, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I want to build the thing. I want to do one of these things. And you don't get to come to me and be like, play this system and stop being stubborn. It's like, no, I'll play the system I want to play. If the players want to play that as well, let's fucking do it. And that is exactly what we're doing. Again, one of my biggest pet peeves is when someone comes into my face, whether it's a comment section, a YouTube chat, a Twitch chat, and tell me you're doing it wrong. And it's like, why do you think I'm doing it wrong? Because it's not supposed to be played this way. You need characters with at least a 15 stat. And you're like, no, I don't. Hardcore has proven that we do not need that. There are some things we have learned about hardcore and changed the rules. We don't roll hit points anymore at level 1. You just can't fucking do it. It's a risky fucking maneuver. So we got rid of that. But other than that, there really hasn't been a lot we've changed since then. We still roll for stats. We still roll for folk. We still. Well,
I think it's less of that part and more like the game itself has kind of changed. Like the startup of it. I mean, I never had a complaint with the startup to begin with. Yeah, but I'm a sick freak.
Yeah.
But I think even with the stuff that has changed, like.
We're keeping the spirit alive of hardcore.
Yeah, the core game has kind of had this like excellent moment where it's been like honed to a fine edge now. We're like, all right, we know that going forward, level, let's like meld this together. Yeah. You're going to be level 2. I really like the relic system as a concept going forward.
Dude, like, I didn't know how that was going to go over, and I'm kind of digging it.
Yeah, man. I like the idea of like, I mean, of course, I got like a super meta pick, like fucking immediately, right? So like,
what also is kind of neat that we're realizing is like, Lawman's got like 3 relics now, right? 3 of his level 1 relics, so he can kind of like change that relic
as he sees fit,
as he sees fit to the situation.
Yeah,
that's kind of fun.
That's also really cool.
Yeah. And it's all because we're kind of exploring. We're kind of being like, well, what if we don't do subclasses the way that we're supposed to do it? What if we don't do character creation the way we're supposed to do it? What if we change the wound system, so that it kind of does tell a little bit more of a story? We've got Scrumbus about to fucking die of frostbite. We've got Soaktech trying to scale up a hill with a fucking hole in his lung. We've got funny moments like Poppy being like, my foot hurts. Ow. We've got fun. It's fun narrative stories that we would normally not see if we were supposed to be playing the game in a particular way that is more standardized. And maybe this is also coming from, you and I obviously are on the same ticket and may be different, but you and I are done with standardized D&D.
I said it before we started playing, and I'll say it again. I'm so fucking tired of 5th edition.
Yeah,
like
that's what it was. Lost Minds was great because I got to see 5th edition the way it was meant to be played, with a little bit of hardcore nuance sprinkled in, and I was quickly realizing there were things about it that I was just like, this doesn't work. This doesn't work from a gameplay standpoint. This doesn't add any value from a gameplay standpoint. This doesn't do anything. So that's why hardcore, every time we've done a hardcore game, we change something. We change something a little bit in there. We kind of fleshed out. And Icewind Dale was kind of the first one where I was just like, fuck it, let's go all in on the changes. Let's really make the wound system stand out. Let's really flesh out exhaustion. Let's flesh out survival. Let's really kind of step out of how 5e wants me to do it. And I've been enjoying this more because of that, that we have flanking rules, that we have, range advantage now, that we're actually really adding some nuance and detail, where it is like, now we're doing IO5E where everything's changed to like classes and, how criticals work and the Paragon point system and, how we're doing legendary resistances. And what are you laughing about?
No, I was gonna say, I was like, don't worry, chat. I am your union representative behind the box, behind the screen, every session telling Brett I want to do stop making me play 5th edition and make me play IO5E already.
And I'm like, hey, well,
I'm tired. Make Night Render a cool ass Ranger class.
Hey man, you're still having fun with you had fun last session. Last session was fun.
Again, man, I love playing with the party.
Yeah.
The party, great gang. I fucking love
you don't love it for the system. You love it for the stories we're telling.
1000%.
Same. And yeah, I thought it was incredible the moment that darkness came up, and I was like, oh, and Scrumpus just kind of does a firebolt, and the guy's like, fuck! And then he
into the darkness.
Into the darkness. That's cool, man. But that's right. We weren't saying that like, oh my god, I just love the D&D system. We were just like, I just like the narrative of that. I liked that you guys, woke up an ancient white dragon that was sleeping in the blizzard, and you guys were like, fuck, get the fuck out now. I'm enjoying all of that. It's, You
want to know a game where I'm having fun narratively, and I'm also having fun with my friends?
I've rolled my eyes visibly. Yeah, man, what?
It's Devil's Due.
The Devil's Due, baby.
It's Devil's Due, where I get to go, hey, Carver, you're full hit points now.
Hey, sicko.
Hey, Sybil, you're full hit points now. And actually be a badass.
Yeah.
It feels fucking awesome.
Yeah, feels good. And then we can absolutely do bigger things, bigger scary stuff, and I'm having a blast with IO5E, and people seem to be enjoying it. I like the classes that we're doing. I really can't wait to I definitely want to continue. I mean, obviously flesh these classes out, but I really can't wait to explore the other concepts like the Clad Bearer, which is our mecha pilot class, fantasy mecha pilot. Like, dude. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be really fun to mess around. The Scholar. Wink. Oh, I can't wait for the Scholar to mess around with the Scholar, because I'm also like the spells. I'm making custom spells for the enemies, but I'm also balancing them.
Scholar was your blue mage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can start sapping away these spells that you would normally never see in like any other spell list. That these are monster spells. Yeah. We're not gonna.
I'd play some fucking what's his name from the Harry Potter series, the one who trains all the animals and stuff.
Oh, what? I don't know what you're referring to.
It's
Hagrid,
mythical animal. No, not Hagrid. Hagrid's great.
Oh, you're with the mythical beasts thing.
Yeah, and where to find them? He definitely strikes me as that type of scholar.
Yeah.
Although actually, I'll just play Hagrid and have a sick ass motorcycle. Never mind.
Absolutely. So we got that. Phalanx classes. There's a whole list of them that I definitely would love to explore one day. That's why IO5E is going to be in development forever. I feel. I think
that's. I mean, I think that's kind of fine though, because again, you're going to be introducing whole new classes.
Yeah.
Which is like. There's only one TTRPG that I know of that's currently doing that at the moment, and it'd be dope to have some more.
Yeah.
Some dope competition, or not even like a friendly rivalry would be pretty sick.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, and again, like, the only thing I'm like competing with is like within 5e itself. You know, it's just
Exactly
a new flavor of 5e, which is really what I want it to be. You know, I don't want it to. I don't
like
want to make.
You want crunch? You come play Pathfinder. You want the hero's story? You go play IO5E.
I just feel like D&D and 5e as it is right now is very much trying to be super fucking accessible. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I do feel like you're kind of muddling the lines a bit of what is like a game and what is just doing whatever. Just I roll die and then thing happen, you know, like, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, D&D is kind of like transforming into this narrative device, you know, and again, if that system works for your table, go for it. Have some fun. It's like a little more narrative with some game mechanics kind of sprinkled in the back. But also at the same time, you know, like when you break down the numbers and stuff, you know, challenge rating doesn't fucking matter. I could show you two monsters and be like, one of them is a CR4. Sorry, one of them's a CR6, the other's a CR9. And you're like, they're both the same picture. And you're like, that's correct. Like, you just don't, like, it's just, you know, yeah, it's you can't tell because of just how the system has been built. And it takes people like, you know, Blog of Holding and myself with Fiendish Forge, you know, to build our systems, to let DMs and GMs make their own creatures. And this approach they have of, reskin our own shit is something I'm wholeheartedly
Why would I
against.
teach you how to make it? You guys are morons.
Yeah.
You can't be trusted. We've seen your homebrew. It's like, yeah, you've seen my homebrew, and my players fucking love it, pussy.
But also, it's like it kind of is on that border of just like yeah, you've seen it, but also because you haven't given us the tools to build it correctly. You know what I mean? You've kind of just said you're keeping it to yourself, and you're giving me a bullshit reason as to why. You know, it's like, well, there's no markers on the map. You can make your own markers. Ooh, or like,
ooh. I think what really disillusioned me was we have our own CR table that we use for internal calculations.
So fucking,
and that's
pissed.
why CR is so different from your guys' CR. I went, what the fuck do you mean? And you have a different calculator?
Crawford said it in such like a isn't that great way, and I'm just like, no. And here's the thing that pissed me off is I squinted when he said that at the summit, and I went, all right, but I thought he was saying that in a way of like, we're gonna get the updated table in 2024.
That's what I thought.
And then once like more started happening and the DM's guide came out, we still weren't seeing anything. I went, wait a minute, are you telling me we're just not gonna get a table? And then that's why I was waiting for the monster manual to come out, and that's when I was gonna decide if this is still my system or not. And the moment the monster manual came out and there was no system, and then I read that interview and they kept giving like 3 different excuses, I was like, this isn't my system anymore. And that is what pushed me to be like, all right, IO5E, I'm making my own. We're gonna make our own. We're gonna build the tool sets necessary for people to build in a system that they are familiar with. If Wizards of the Coast isn't going to do it, then we'll do it. And that's what's happening. You know, like I keep referencing Blog of Holding because I love the mathematics and the work they did to sort of build a creature, you know, and they've also put that on the Creative Commons, which is good for them because we're using that for Fiendish Forge, and we'll be using that to help people build their own elite boss, standard elite and boss creatures, because that's currently what's missing. One of many things that's currently missing in 5e. And again, it could just be that D&D has taken this new shape where it is a DM does not mean game designer. You don't worry about designing games. You don't have to design the game. Just run the game. You are a game moderator. That is what DMing has become. DMing has become game moderation, which means here's all the assets that you need to run the game. run the game. Don't worry about making your custom shit. If you really feel the need to, here's some reskins that doesn't affect anything. But we don't want you building your own creatures. We don't want you making your own abilities. We don't want you pricing your own items. You just do whatever you want. DM is now GM, which it used to be game master. Now it's game moderator. You are the game moderator. DM now stands for dungeon moderator. You just run the adventure. Don't worry about making all the extra shit. Don't worry about it, baby. We got you.
I hate that.
I hate that.
Just
run the game. Just run the game.
Makes me sick.
I mean, and that's because we like making the shit. So, but again, well, I mean, you've already moved on to Pathfinder, which treats you like a game designer.
I'm so well. Actually, it's kind of funny because every time I've gone to homebrew something,
yeah.
Because I think it's because I still have some lingering trauma from 5th edition. I go to make something that I think the game needs, and I look and I go, "Oh, they already have
it."
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh, what if I do this?" And they're like, "No, that's a optional rule that we have in case you want to play that way." And I went,
There was a system in Daggerheart that I was just like, "Huh, interesting." I just saw it brought up briefly. And I'm probably butchering this because I don't know too much about Daggerheart and I really don't care to. But one of the things they have is like a fear mechanic, or like essentially it's almost like a stress mechanic with like stress buttons and things like that. And the way that it sounds to me, the way that it's pitched is that as you kind of gain these like fear points or these stress points, you can use it as a resource for your own abilities. So that you're like, oh, I got 2 fear. You can do these things now. Like you can do all these things that kind of like feed into the fear. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. But
interesting.
But the flip side of that is when you have those fears, the GM can also use that against you. So it's kind of this 2-sided resource where you're like, yeah, sure, max your fear out or whatever and do all these crazy things.
Yeah,
but now,
really scared.
Yeah, but now, I'm also going to be using my repertoire of stuff that uses your fear as a resource. And I was like, honestly, that's a really cool approach to like a 2-sided resource. That. Yeah. And again, I don't know if that's exactly how it is, but that's how it kind of presented it to me. And I was just like, that's kind of neat, So it's like it's a 2d10 system, and it has that thing. So I was like, oh, cool. And yeah, I'm hearing a lot of good things about Daggerheart. It sounds like they took some stuff from like some design ideas from 4E. It sounds like there's a lot of like plug and play build on the classes that you want to do. And I'm like, and they're keeping it nice and simple. But I'm also hearing it's also kind of got that 5e loosey goosey kind of like, do what you want.
I always kind of figured that whatever Critical Role was going to make was going to be more narrative heavy.
Yes, and that's the impression I'm getting off of this. So
okay,
and
that makes sense.
And like that's fine. Again, whatever system you run at your table is the best way to go. And I commend Critical Role for building their own system, and I hope they find success with it. And when they do, D&D is going to be in a lot of trouble when there is because it's like D&D. If D&D is trying to become this narrative system, right? Where like, do whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't do it super well. It's loose enough where like you can kind of do your own thing. But if a system comes, which would be Critical Role, because Critical Role I felt like had a very big impact on Dungeons and Dragons when they moved on to that. And
they left Pathfinder to come play 5th edition when it first came out, which is huge.
Yeah. But I think, the audience that Critical Role built sort of really wants that narrative experience. So they used D&D for the narrative experience when D&D really wasn't designed to be a big narrative overarching thing.
Yeah, still had the trappings of like, 4th edition didn't really have the narrative thing either.
No,
super number crunchy.
That's because it was always, the D&D system was always meant to be a tactics role-playing game that you play on paper. Yes, you role-play and you got persuasion, stuff like that, but it was about dice rolling and leveling up and becoming stronger and big magic items and blah, 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 blah. that I almost feel like Critical Role kind of transformed 5e, which is already an off branch of 3e, like a simplified version of 3e, and then Critical Role kind of came through with more narrative storytelling, right? And built this massive audience that also started getting into D&D, using it the way that Critical Role was using it, more as a narrative device, which then started this backlash of hard old grognards who are saying you're doing it wrong. Yep. When really there is no wrong way to play a system when you're just doing it by yourself. And so D&D kind of wasn't, it may have not originally been intended or built for the like narrative Critical Role audience, but that's what they got and that's what they used. Now that Critical Role has built a more narrative focused system, what does that mean for D&D? You know, especially if Critical Role ends up going towards like all in on their system. I'm assuming the plan for Critical Role is there's still going to be some D&D. There's still going to be some Candela Obscura or whatever the fuck that system is.
That's the big point of contention right now. Is people are wondering if they are going to full swing into Daggerheart and basically forego D&D altogether. What the fuck that's going to do?
I think they're going to put their toe in the water. I think they're going to, still keep D&D on the docket, but I feel like if Daggerheart overtakes their D&D games, like, then it's all in on Daggerheart. In which case,
why wouldn't you? Like,
yeah. And in that case, like, what happens to D&D at that point? Because now D&D, instead of it's leaning more and more into this narrative device, and I feel like it's being built more and more into a narrative device. You're a game moderator. Don't worry about the game design side of things. Here are some rough numbers to work with. Here's some rough abilities that you can do, but use this to tell a story. Don't use this to play a game. But D&D wasn't built that way. The bones of D&D is not that. And again, if you play using D&D as a narrative device, that's fine. But the system itself was not built in that direction.
It is a dungeon crawler.
Yes. Now you've got Critical Role, who has built a system from the ground up specifically for narrative play. And if that is what people, the majority of the D&D audience is looking for, you know what I mean? Then what happens to D&D at that point? D&D has become this kind of really weird, muddled system that kind of doesn't work for anyone. It's disillusioned you and I, who are big on the game design side of things. It's, it's like, it's a good narrative system, but now you've got Daggerheart, which is kind of taking the wings of that. You're looking for something a little bit crunchier. You got Pathfinder, which is going to take care of that. What's missing is just like, using D&D at the core and kind of bringing it back to what it was, which is the dungeon crawling role-playing system. So, I mean, it's I don't know where D&D is going to be in the next 5 years. I really don't know.
It'll be very interesting to see this kind of like where the hobby that got me, like where
you're going to be an interesting time.
Yeah, is like how it has transformed so much. I'm very interested. I'm also incredibly interested to see what it's going to be like in the future compared to what it was when I first started.
Yeah. I still think there's going to be a 6th edition. They probably won't call it 6th edition. They'll probably call it something like 6th edition, but I do feel like once the money train is gone on D&D, they're probably going to try and create a new audience with a 6th edition, or do like a side branch of D&D that plays in a different way with a different kind of system that they design, and try and create a new audience from that. That's kind of what I see happening. Obviously, I don't know. Well, like I said, I think with the change of the guard, I think we are going to see a systematic change in D&D. I do genuinely believe that with the new lead, with whoever the new lead designers are. And I'm sorry, I don't know who they are. I really don't. I couldn't.
You do not have nearly enough like presence yet to.
Well, no. I'm willing to admit that I haven't been invested too much into D&D since I've started working on Ivy, and since 2024 came out. So I know that's more on me and less on the presence of the people. I do recognize the faces. I couldn't tell you the names, and I don't want to try and like take shots in the dark right now. I definitely don't want to belittle them, because I'm just not as invested in it anymore. It's very interesting that, we are seeing the Artificer come back, which is great. I didn't think that was going to happen, but they're re-releasing it, so good for them. They're adding more subclasses, so fine. It's very interesting that they are making the Scion class, that they're building a new class, which is I think is also super interesting and kind of goes against the narrative mold that I said earlier, so I don't, I'm feeling and leaning one way, but then I'm getting surprised by the actions and directions that they're taking, and Unearthed Arcana is fucking crazy right now with all the shit that they keep pushing out for you to like play test and try. And yeah, it's been,
I mean,
who knows?
It would be really fucking cool if like the new guard decided balls to the wall. Like, this is it. We need a Hail Mary and we need to see what the hell is going to stick.
Yep.
So they just start going crazy. Like they just start throwing everything at it and hoping to God that something sticks. And then maybe they find something really cool. Like maybe the psionic pops off.
I haven't read too much in the Scion, but right now it just doesn't look like anything new is being introduced. You know what I mean? It just kind of feels like it's the same. It's just a reskin of other things, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I do want them to take more risks. I think the Scion is going to be a big risk. I think that is going to be fascinating because the Scion fucking did not work in 3rd edition.
Everything I've read on the Scion, it has been nothing but complaints. Unless you were playing it.
I liked the attempt. I did. I liked that they kind of went in a kind of bizarre new direction. I kind of wanted to play it just for that, where it's like, oh yeah, it's a PowerPoint system instead of a spell slot system, and you've got all this. It was just so out there, and I guess it just did not work. But I really admired the attempt. I admired that is something. It was something different, and ultimately people were like, nay, but that is a risk. That's a risk you take when you build a new thing. You know what I mean? And I don't think the fear of failure should ever stop someone from trying. And business and business in itself, is so fear of failure prone that they always try to keep things safe. We don't innovate anymore. And so that's more of a personal gripe I have. I understand why we don't innovate, because it's risky and there's a risk that you're just going to lose money and yada, yada, yada. But we need to take chances and take risks again. So absolutely.
Yeah. I've gotten very tired of the same. Like you see it now very much in movies where like nobody is making new movies. It's just a rehashing or oh my God, the fucking Lilo and Stitch.
I heard that was
so bad.
I heard that was a fucking disaster. Bad. Yeah, I heard that they kind of like turned the story into sort of they made it too real. Yeah.
Brother, they went, what if we took the entire theme of the story and ignored it?
Yeah. the story's lessons and what it believed in and this sort of happy thing, and went just soured upon it. Yeah.
I will not spoil it for anybody, but if you want to see how they took the easiest fucking concept and decided to ruin it, just go look at Twitter and look up the Lilo and Stitch remake, and you will see it is a dog. It is dog.
What sucks is these live actions, these live action movies could have been such an easy cash grab. Just do it again. Just make it live action. That's all you had to do.
One for one. You do not need to reimagine the wheel on these like iconic movies.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I
don't want to hear your new perspective on Ohana means family, dog.
Yeah, I mean, like, I fucking get it. Like, obviously some stories haven't aged well, and you kind of want to tell, like, have different motivations and stories and that. But, like, I know Snow White was very more about the, like, you don't need to rescue me because I'm a girl, and like, that's fine. But like, yeah, the Lilo and Stitch change was like, I was like, it was very much like, yeah, kids, life sucks. Don't know what to tell you. Grow up, and I'm like,
stop it. Stop. You are not that important. The world does not rotate around you. It's like,
what?
Dude, they're kids.
I'm like,
let them have some whimsy, dog.
Yes, 100%. Yes, dude. I'll be in a bad mood, and with my neighbor's kids, and I keep a smile on my face. I don't say or do or snap because I'm like, you guys are kids. You don't need to know about how shitty the world can be yet. Just enjoy your life. Yeah.
Why do I got brother? Dude, it's going to be like fucking 10 years from now, and you're going to get the shittiest experience of your life.
Yeah.
But my God, you're going to look back at your life and be like, I really miss my childhood.
Yeah. And you know what? It's better, and I think it's very better that it's just better that you do have some whimsy in your life. Not to we don't need we don't need to go in and be like, yeah, kids, life sucks. Better now. And I'm like, no, dude.
Bro,
Jesus Christ.
What are you doing?
All right. We're gonna call it there because it is getting late again, and I already had a little headache and tummy aches and all that stuff. But we did it. We did a full ass fucking.
You're so funny. You were like, it's gonna be. We're just gonna talk a little bit. We're gonna wrap it up. It's gonna be short. And I was like, all right, man. me having 3 years of experience with you.
I also figured, but at the same time. That was like tummy hurts, head hurts. You know what I mean?
Come on.
But here we are, 2.5 hours later. So fuck me, I guess. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. If you want to support what we do, I'll thank you for all the super chats as well. We didn't get to our goal this time, but hey, that's okay. We'll try again next time. We'll keep that story in the back pocket. If you want to support what we do, you can join us on YouTube membership. Or head over to patreon.com/the dumpster delvers, not the dumpster delvers, patreon.com/dumpster delvers. Choose one of our many tiers, including our podcast MP3 tier, our Inside the Dumpster post show that we post only on Patreon, our live action show where you can see our beautiful mugs while we're doing our Inside the Dumpster, our weekly or our monthly AMAs, if you are especially generous, as well as the weekly shout outs. Let people know, hey, thank you so much for the individuals. And there are some people I'd like to give a shout out to. First of all, Flamboyant Flamingo. Hey, what's up? New face, new name. Flamboyant Flamingo. Happy Pride Month, y'all. Happy Pride Month to you all, by the way.
Happy Pride Month.
Well, I'll tell that story next time. I made a Pride story post, which was both a way to be like, hey, you guys are safe here in our community. We love you just the way you are. But also in part to see who the real scumbags were. So I could be like, all right.
Show yourselves, idiot.
Purging you out of the comment section. You're getting purged, baby. I mean, that's the beauty. And that's the thing. I didn't have to do a big grandstand. I just went, Happy Pride Month. That's it. Happy Pride Month, post my raccoon with the rainbow. And then someone, I did roll my eyes at the few people that were like, happy men's mental health awareness. And I'm like, I get it, but that's not the post. And I don't know why there's a part of me.
Sure that's an entirely different month anyway.
No, apparently it's this month, right?
Is it this month? I thought we had an entirely different month.
No, I got so many posts from people who were like,
oh no, it was the veterans thing. Somebody was trying to make this. I was like, that's November.
Yeah.
And fucking another month and another. I'm pretty sure veterans have 3 fucking months.
Look, I get it. Mental health is important, but also it's really weird that as a guy that someone's going to dedicate a month to my mental health. It's like, I feel like mental health is pretty unbiased, no matter who you are. And I think we should just make awareness of it. I don't think we need to celebrate it. And this one's for the guys. And then you like open a can of beer and you're like, yeah, mental health, chug, chug, chug. You're like, it's so stupid. And you know,
everybody needs help.
Everyone does, but I also I don't want to say something that I don't think it is a risky thing to be like, I don't need a men's mental health month. I'm sorry. You know, I do think we need to be more. I do think we need to be transparent about mental health. I do think, sometimes guys do have the expectation to be A-okay when they're not. But I also don't think we need to like celebrate that.
I think there should be a month. I don't know if we need to keep doing the whole tribalism thing.
I think there should be a mental health awareness month. I don't think gender should be a part of the equation. That's my argument. I don't think there should be a men's mental health month. I think there should be a mental health month. I think mental health is not sexist. It doesn't care what your sexuality is. It doesn't care how old you are.
Shit out of everybody.
We are all suffer. We all deal with it, and I don't think we need a month specifically for the guys or the ladies. It just needs to be a mental health month,
Please, dear God, help me, please help me, dear God, help me.
Yeah, because also at the same time to make that your fucking argument on Pride Month, you know what I mean? Like where you go, Happy Pride, everyone.
That's a whole different can of worms.
And then someone steps in front and goes, Happy, looks at camera, Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And you're like, fuck off, dude. You know what I'm trying to do here. You know what I'm trying to say here. It's not like, don't forget about men's mental health. I'm like, that's not the story here. Sorry, guys. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to one-up Pride over men's mental health. It already sucks when you go, Happy Pride Month, and someone goes, this fucking cult. You're like, cult? Fuck off, dude. Just because. Yeah, it's like, God damn it. Like, this isn't something new. Sorry that, you were told by a right-wing news source lies about all this shit, and then you've decided to fucking believe it. But okay, man, whatever you fucking say, like, whatever, dude. So anyways, yeah, I do like to do. So, yeah, the men's mental health, when everyone did that, I rolled my eyes, was like, whatever, I'm just going to ignore it. But anyone else that was like, no, or like, gross, or I'm like, my God, it's so weird how we haven't grown up from this, that we're still like, ew, gay people are icky. You're like, oh my God, are you fucking for real, dude?
I really honest to God would love to know how what the fuck I do in my home and my bedroom affects you to a person. You have no fucking idea who I am.
Yeah.
I post one thing on Twitter and suddenly your day is ruined. My brother in Christ.
Yep.
Your life is in shambles.
Yeah. If me saying Happy Pride is ruining your day, either your life is fucking phenomenal that any slight is just a blemish on your otherwise perfect day, or you are such a fucking wreck that this is what sets you off. Either way, yeah, it's whatever. So, anyways, Happy Pride, everyone. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
Again, shout out to Flamboy at Flamingo. Happy Pride Month, y'all. Did you know that you can translate?
That's right. We're doing shout outs.
Happy, yeah. So sorry. Happy to gay in French. I hope your day is filled with happiness. This is a threat. They wanted to let us know.
Oh,
P.S. I'm so glad y'all aren't truculent with each other, which is a word I learned last week.
Right.
Truculent.
Fucking pretentious ass motherfucker.
Burning Jackal, watching my cousin's Bernedoodle puppy this weekend. 3 months old, got no sleep for his crying. Oh, I might to catch up when this hits the Patreon. Totally understand that, Burning Jackal. P.S. Happy Pride. PPS, here's Frank the Bernedoodle. That's a picture we're going to keep for ourselves. But I will let you know, this Bernedoodle is the cutest fucking puppy I've ever fucking seen. So, yeah, you go check that out, crowd, and look at this good boy. God,
I'm looking right now.
That is a good, such a good boy.
Oh, with the little flag. My goodness.
Such a good boy. Such a good
God, they look so happy.
Yeah. I also am dealing with animals who want to keep me up and wake me up and all that shit. I have a cat that'll sometimes be like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Please, just
what's up, man?" It's like I'm gonna paw at your face now to make sure that you're still alive, so I don't eat you.
Screams and meows. And if I sleep a little too late, the cat's like, "Wake up," and I'm like, "Why?"
I am tired of waiting.
Yeah, it's just so. It's just so fucking, yeah. And I still love this cat dearly. And when this cat dies, it's going to break my fucking heart. But also, I know that once the morning is done, I will be getting good sleep and then wake up so sad that I'm not being awakened by this cat. This cat is ruining my life in every way. And when this cat passes, my life will continue to further spiral out of control. So, on that note, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Yeah. And we know no Dumpster Devils next week because I am taking a break. I don't take a
much needed vacation.
I don't take a break. Crown's gonna kill me.
I will.
Just kidding.
Not only will I kill you,
everyone will kill me.
Every person in your fucking life will kill you.
I know.
And I will personally make sure that I get in contact with Maze to wring your fucking neck if she catches you working.
I'm not gonna work. There will be no work.
Even on your phone. The moment you glance at your phone, like a notepad opens, it's the cold apparition of hands.
I've already made the promise to myself. I'm no work.
Good.
No work whatsoever. I will get the Patreon posts up on Dumpster Delvers and World of IO scheduled, so you guys don't have to worry about it. So that you guys will still be getting stuff. I will be doing nothing. I will be doing absolutely nothing. I hope to not feel guilty about it. We shall see, but the plan is nothing. I might take some paperback books with me and just fucking read on the goddamn beach.
That's fine.
Yeah.
An educated fellow.
I've been thinking about it, just like, maybe I should just read some books, man. Nothing wrong with reading books, man. That'll be great. Get some inspiration out that way. Not be on a fucking device. I already uninstalled Twitter a while back because I kept scrolling on it from their shorts. I think that's what it is. Twitter has shorts that you can read through.
Really?
Yeah, so it's
I've seen that.
So it's very easy to like just scroll through on the phone and doing that. Blue Sky doesn't, which means I'm not on Blue Sky as often. But Twitter I'll just stay on, so I uninstalled Twitter. And I'm glad I did, because Twitter's a fucking piece of shit nightmare. Although watching Elon Musk spiral out, kind of like Twitter again.
Easy, Dove. Easy.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.